Yeah. I forgot what happened last week. I ran a one shot yesterday for my friend, so do not recall what happened last week. Did it leave off on a cliffhanger? I thought we were like, boom. Right. Oh, he said Shannon got a haircut, and Shannon said, yeah, and then I was like, what about the pits though? No? Okay, I get the pits are still firing. Right? Call it the fire pit. No, armpits. See, you shaved your face? You had a big old beard. Okay. Shut the fuck up, Jason. Can't make it next week. We were literally just talking about it. Yeah. My car and my motorcycle are both down. My girlfriend's been giving me rides to work. I'm trying to fix them, but the parts aren't here. I just got here, you fucking boomer. If you wasn't busy sucking the earth for whatever resources it had left. Yeah, I speak 2 languages, you old fuck. Oh, speaking of, I'll give myself a whiskey. Go ahead, sir.
Holy buckets. Holy buckets. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. Yeah, happy Sunday. Jin has decided to vacate the premises. He'll be back shortly. He was chasing a whiskey sour, I believe. Just Aloof Puppet, how are you? So, yeah, we're finally going to get our asses over to Earl Bay today and see what happens. And I believe, oddly enough, our last session we finished on just a plain old long rest, right? Like there was a bunch of RP and everybody got a long rest, and then there was the island off in the distance on the final day of travel. Correct? I believe so.
I'm in a bunch of games. Did we level up?
Yes.
Yes.
Did we just take a long rest?
Yes.
So
That's
the
why
level
it was
up
like
is
a
the
good.
effect?
I think that's why it was a good stopping point, was because of that reason.
So what level are we?
9.
Okay.
Yeah.
My character sheet is accurate. Just making sure.
Nice.
I don't
Glad
know
to
what
hear
to
that,
do.
Aloof. We're happy to help you get through your last shift. You feel the pain. Well, not all the pain. Some of the pain.
I feel your pain.
Yeah, Brendan feels your pain. He just did how many hours yesterday?
11.
He just did an 11-hour shift
Bless
at SpaceX in Hawthorne.
I worked 65 hours last week.
Woo! So after 40, it's time and a half, and then after 60, it's double time? Or after 50?
Not
it's-
during Christmas, baby. Thank you, Union.
Really?
Yep, during the Christmas season, they can fuck us with no lube as much as they want.
Wow. So your union is shite, is what you're saying.
Not as good as they used to be.
The other thing, too, is because they're federal.
Oh, that's true. The Fed's always looking to fuck you.
The 8-hour thing is a California thing.
Gotcha. That makes no sense. I mean, paying people what they're worth sounds to be more sensible to me. But, oh well. What do I know? Very little. I'm here to run these poor souls through a game that will eventually TPK them, and I get a big smile on my face and build a new game. And Chesray's just looking like, fuck you. And I know it's a weird setup for everybody out there, but Vince and Shannon are out in the boonies that we call the civilization of the city. She's like, the where? She's like, you're the fucking...
I'm in the boonies?
Yeah, you're like, you're the fucking
It's called
hick.
the suburbs.
I've been
You're
there.
the fucking hick, old Santa
Wherever
Claus.
You are.
Actually, me and Brandon and Cesare are actually out in the Hicks. We're out in Hemet, and Shannon, I believe, is in North Hollywood-ish, North Hills. And Vince is in Lakewood/Long Beach area. All of us are at least in Southern California.
Vince is like, no, man.
Yeah. And we're drinking unsponsored beer.
Yeah.
So, we're just showing you the backside of our beer. What whiskey are you drinking there, Vince?
Hibiki.
Unsponsored.
Unsponsored whiskey?
Tenjaku.
Nice. I think that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very cool.
pretty good.
Very cool.
It better be for $69.99 a bottle.
Woof. Anything that's 69's got to be good, though, right?
It's nice.
Nah. It's like pizza, right? Even when it's bad, it's good.
As long as it's shower day.
Ches hasn't seen a shower since he lived in that short bus life.
Short bus life.
He only does whore baths. He gets the little wipes and he just...
Why are those whore baths? Those are just called Insta showers. We
I've
do
never
those when we
seen-
go camping, you hateful person.
Yeah, but we're SCA, so we're whores.
Is that what?
Yeah.
That's not true.
We're
Oh,
the
well,
SCA.
it might be a little true.
Yes.
So
We're
last
whores.
week,
We're whores.
On
We're
the
whores
That's
from
right. It's like,
1967.
when we get together like this, we can't help ourselves.
The whore talk starts.
Yeah, because we're in Earl Bay, folks. Well, we're near Earl
In
Bay
Revels.
because we're gonna be. So where we last left off. Well, before we do that, a quick thank you out to Cesare because I know he doesn't have much to plug, but he always gets here early. Helps with the microphones and the camera. We replaced one of our cameras that wasn't the same as the other cameras. There's still a couple tweaks left to do it for the frame rate issue, but for the most part, the new microphones are all in, so there's no more clip-on microphones.
Looks dope.
It looks
did
so
you take
cool.
a picture? You gonna tweet it?
I will. I'll tweet it tonight because honestly, when it's got a full group at the table and
Oh, okay.
yeah,
sure.
so it looks good near you, but it looks good on them. I don't know what to tell you, Ches. I don't know what to tell you. Now I've got one game left, you asshole.
I'll see you tomorrow. Jason.
Can't
I'll
win
see you
in
tomorrow.
these
I know I
conditions.
just threw a tantrum, but I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
But yeah, Cesare's been doing so much work here, and he's been patient with me, which has been really nice. Kind of showing me how everything works, and we've got pretty much the battle cam dialed in now. We've got everything kind of organized, and but our schedule's been updated down below, so check that out. If you're ever in need of local Southwest physical assistance in your video and audio, Cesare's business information will be up on our abouts in the near future. I'm gonna use the 2-week downtime to do some revamp and changes to things. We're getting a new logo, we're getting some new overlays, we're getting some actual help other than my inability to do the creative stuff, and someone's going to be helping us out with that for the foreseeable future as it goes to our overlays and stuff like that. And when I get the about channel or get the about panels all redone, I'll have Cesare's info on there, because I think one of the things that Cesare's really good at is if you reach out to him,
He'll touch you.
he'll walk you through your challenge, he'll walk you through your problem, and then sure, he might touch
And then
you
he'll
if you're
touch
nice.
you.
I mean, not
Then he'll
true.
touch
He
you.
doesn't even like hugs, guys. Rumor has it he hates
He hates hugs.
physical
Oh,
affection.
that might have been just a
worst.
Shannon thing, because every time he gives me a
Yeah,
hug, it's just like
'cause I
both
smell
hands on
real
each
bad.
cheek,
Yep.
I feel a chub.
and he just gripping.
Yep, just
Such for so petite
fair,
hands, he just has such
have
great grip strength. Just he really gets underneath there and just
I can't compete.
bam, he gets his
Not
money worth,
compete.
is what I'm trying to say. He's just,
Shannon,
He likes
give us
cuddling
a
on my lap.
brief bit on what you've got going on these days.
That's
Hopefully you're
where
getting
people get
caught
to hear
up.
about me. That's great.
Oh God.
These are the things.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, I got you.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh God. This week has been
A
something
thing.
else,
Yeah.
and the week before it, something else. So, anyway, I heard you like podcasts. Who told me that? I don't know. Just go with it. It's fine. An advertisement.
know,
I'm
I
Linda
do.
Del Diablo. It's a
Relate.
Mage the Ascension 5th edition podcast. 5th edition, quotation marks. You can find that basically anywhere you can find podcasts. Amigo Del Diablo is about a group of orphaned mages going out and about, discovering what magic is to them and what it means to the world, and fighting molemen and losing terribly, as you do. On that same feed, we also have Section 6 that is coming out much more regularly because
I like
James is
Section
a saint
6.
and is actually editing like on time or something.
Auditing? Are you
Auditing.
auditing?
But last time I looked at the clock, it was like 4:30. So don't at me. Anyway, that is about a group of technocrats who have done the bad thing and have been Section 6. I believe we have met Kraken at this point, a drug cat. Great, very good cat. Highly recommend it. Lastly, we
I haven't
also
gotten there
are
yet. A drug cat?
Yep, his name is Kraken. You will love him.
Holy shit.
Lastly, we are streaming the second season of Section 6 currently on Tuesdays. We usually try to start around 6, but it's probably closer to 6:30 because people need time to eat dinner, etc. Mild spoilers ahead if you do tune into that. We're all playing different characters except for Sam, who's probably in the chat right now, who is playing a returning character. So there may be some mild spoils. We try to keep it out, but you know. Next session is probably going to be Atlas's date, the Thorian. It's gonna be a thing. Certainly.
The Shannon eyes. They speak volumes. But yeah, and don't forget, you can also check out Uncanny Pros. Their link is down below in the Abouts. Lots of fun thing going on with GUI Cube as well. I've been talking to Dungeon Master Dave over at Guild Superior, and they do some GUI Cube stuff as well. And we're going to be doing something with them in the future as well. There's lots of shit coming in 2022. So I really do appreciate everybody who's helped us get to that almost we are 15 away from 400 followers. And as soon as we hit 400, that means we can do our promotion for our 500 follow and do a real
that's one raid.
fun giveaway. I know,
One raid.
I know, just one raid away.
One raid
Um,
away. That's hard to say.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. This has been an interesting 8-month journey. And 2022 we'll have all new schedules. We'll have at least 3 in-studio games at some point in 2022. We maybe keep bringing you a couple more live online games in 2022. Faerun Reborn is wrapping up. I know. It's a fun Tier 4 game that we've been having lots of fun with. I mean, we're basically gods. So yeah, let's go ahead and recap, because oddly enough, I'm pretty sure we left off on a normal finish it to the session last time. I think, so after escaping the Revels as the great ancient dragon turtle came back into existence, causing it to submerge below the surface of the Lucidian Sea, all of the ships that could made their way as fast as they could. Our own crew got super creative in both helping the ship escape as well as keeping it from being utterly destroyed. But the team managed to survive the escape of the Revels, and we now know that they're heading towards Earl Bay to sync up with the Hawk and his ship, even though he is currently on board the what are we naming it? The Storm's Eye. And the Storm's Eye spent, for the first time, a full day at sea in quite some time. On top of that, it's been a refurbished and recovered vessel that a previous individual that used to be with the crew had manipulated out of a half-drunken orc's possession. I believe it was Gatharn that kicked the shit out of a couple of the crew members, even though they ended up, one of them, Clark, ended up staying on board. And that's
Jin
how
did cut the dude's head off.
Yeah, and that's how, we got the Storm's Eye. During the first day of travel, Medi, I know, because I was using dual names again, Medi had put the banner up, put up Copper Joe's flag. There was some concern about flying it. However, Medi, during a conversation with Omni late at night, realized that there might be more to that flag than she thought, although she didn't seem overtly surprised when a transparent kind of apparition began to have conversations with her amongst that interlude with Omni. Jin, Gatharn, and everybody getting in that full night's rest. And I believe that's where we last left off, because everybody had leveled up. We were going to wake up the morning of our second day of travel. All of you wake up to the sound of a bell being rung and somebody yelling off in the distance, "Land ho! Land ho!"
Well, why are we insulting the land like that? Just
Oh, sweet
assuming it's a
Jesus.
hoe.
Good night, everybody.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
I'm gonna make sure Thorvald's head is secured.
Okay. Give me investigation as you go down to the cargo hold to kind of see how well it's doing.
That is a 19.
19. No seepage. All the, the pickle barrel seems to be doing what's expected. It's well sealed. You've got maybe 7 more days before you have to take that lid off and then do some work to it. But you've got a little bit of time before it goes bad.
Perform a gentle repose.
Okay. Another fresh 10 days. Right?
I don't actually can do that.
Oh, I thought you could.
No, I'm a barbarian.
Yeah, but you're a magical barbarian. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to wild magic this shit.
All right, so yeah, you got about another 7 days before it's going to need some more preservation to keep it like maybe a change of the pickling agent. You didn't use like a traditional recipe. You just used the base chemistry of alcohol to keep it from rotting. And looking down, there's a ripe smell to it. The skin is getting that kind of, it's been in liquid for too long, and the fat and the underlying materials beginning to, no, because the liquid's kind of maintaining that, but now the skin is getting saggy, and one eyeball is already kind of hanging out slightly past the cheekbone as you kind of put the lid back on top. Anybody else? It's the morning.
After that, I'm going to relieve the helmsman and take over the helm.
Okay, we're back up on the helm. Half the crew is up. Brackish is up. Clark is up. Labash is up. And the twins are up. Everybody else was on rotation, so they're currently asleep. Including Keth. Keth has technically not been given a crew position at this point.
No.
Stitches is our cook right now, right?
Cook and like sail repair person, like the person who manages the kind of sewing repairs and stuff like that.
I'll make sure to get breakfast from Stitches first.
Yeah. Omni will have woken
Yeah,
up.
you go and grab like a pewter plate full of like bacon, eggs, and sausage and some other stuff, and you just kind of take it with you up to the helm. We'll say you relieve Nala from the helm, and she goes down below to get some sleep. Sorry.
Yeah. Every time you say it, I think Lion King
know.
as well, so I think it's
I know.
Omni's gonna have woken up a little early and started diving into some of the books of Thorvald and start reading and researching and seeing what we can find.
Okay.
And breakfast.
Okay. And as you go down below, the Hawk is sound asleep in the cargo bay where all the Thorvald stuff is currently stashed. He has created kind of like a hammock system for himself. There are stacks of books around where he's currently sound asleep as you enter the space. And you've got a plate of food that you gathered from Stitch as well, as the galley was wide open, and the crew that's awake has kind of come in, gotten food, and now they're all busy kind of doing those things that, either working on rope or sail or cabling, and maybe going back to doing minor repairs, because the ship was in kind of still repair state when you guys left. Most of the major work had been done, but there's this kind of persistent need to keep people like doing patching and cleaning and stuff like that.
Set down, after eating some of it, set down the plate next to Maximus so that the smell wakes him up or whatever, and start going through his list and notes of the cataloging of the books.
Give me investigation. 19. So looking at his journal entries and some of what he's done, you begin to realize he's sorted the work into 3 conditions. One is his study of doppelganger biology and physiology. The other one is a series of magical understandings of transmutation. And his third one is the arcane study of imbuement. The ability to take things and imbue them with arcane nature. And he's got the books all stacked up. There's a couple items that are nearby that look to be either pieces of items, like, things that he's maybe recovered and been studying, and they're partially preserved, and there's bits of writing on them that are kind of undefined. There are a series of maps out. He's got a map of Rumblecusp out. He's got a map of Darktow out. He also has a map of Earl Bay out nearby, and a series of notes and captain's entries and logs that Thorvald had been accumulating. And with that 19, you would have also realized that there is a single book on the chest of Max, the Hawk, Maximus, as he's lying in his hammock. He is holding a book called The Nature of the Unknown. And it's partially opened on his chest, like face down. Like maybe he fell asleep reading it.
The books that pique Omni's interest most would be those of how to imbue things with arcane nature.
Okay.
The doppelganger stuff is intriguing because they know that that's kind of what is going on right now with the other bodies and stuff.
Well, I mean, give me a history check. Considering what you've written, what you think you might know about your condition and the idea of a doppelganger, give me a quick history check on that one.
That's a 3.
Yeah, I mean, technically they're considered two unique lineages, but the only perspective that changeling societies ever had on doppelgangers are kind of like that feral version of them, like almost like they're a sentient lineage. They have their own society and their own understanding of how they fit in society, but they tend to be a bit more wild in their escapades, a bit more chaotic in their sense of their own power, their own worth. And for most of what you're reading, it seems to be that Thorvald and the Hawk, with his note-taking, there's a definite kind of focus on the nature of the magic that makes doppelgangers what they are. Like how they shapeshift, how they internalize that shapeshift, and what part of their being versus their magical essence kind of determines that. Anybody else? It's morning. Medi, you are up in the crow's nest. You can hear the bell tolling and land ho being cried out. You can hear the changing of the crew. If you cared, you can smell breakfast, but you're not exactly either different or indifferent to it.
How can I see how far away the land is from here?
Give me a survival check.
Survival, you got it, my dude.
I'm so glad you said dude and not dad. That would be so weird. Accurate, but weird. Don't let this beard fool you. I'm only 26.
Yeah, 8.
8. You figure maybe a couple hours off in the horizon.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna, go out do my normal spiel I would do in the morning, checking on things, kind of managing.
Yeah.
Being middle management.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, you are first mate, right? Technically.
Technically.
Yeah, I mean, from your perspective, it's more about checking in on the crew, making sure they're doing what they're expected to do, keeping an eye on the roster. So I'll say you spend most of your morning kind of doing that. At some point, Brackish kind of sees you kind of doing what you're doing. You look over to see where Gatharn is currently manning the helm. Brackish is kind of staring both in the direction of where the land is just beginning to creep over the horizon, and his tall Goliath form kind of mirroring right off to your right side. He kind of looks at you as you kind of approach this portion of the ship. So, if we do get to Earl Bay, and the captain decides to pick sides, what are your thoughts? Oh, the other thing too is, do you have a need for formality? Do you require first mate acknowledgement, or are you okay with being addressed as Medi?
I mean, I can't think of a reason that I'd ever really turned it down, but...
Well, first mate, what are your thoughts on the captain's potential choice about to be made?
There's a lot of factors going into all that, and I don't feel like I have any room to speak on it so much. Whatever they choose. I'm just happy that we're here in one piece and not.
Well, you
on
were,
that island anymore.
you were there for his speech that he gave all of us. I think things are going to be changing quite drastically for those of us that make our living and do what we do at sea. I'm not going to lie, when Nala told me that you had hung Copper Joe's flag up on the main mast, it kind of felt like we'd just made a decision.
It did a little bit. It's quite a statement when you think about it.
Especially once we get into the main shipping lanes and come across Clovis Conclave Fleets, and
Oh, I thought there was a plan to, like, make something to cover it.
did that plan make its way to Stitch?
Great question.
I could certainly relay that for you, First Mate, and get that proposed. Were you thinking a material
Kind of like a pillowcase?
to make it look like a normal nautical flag as opposed to
camouflage?
That's a new question I have for you then. What colors do we sail under when we're not under Copper Joe's colors?
Great question. Omni? Look for the adult?
Looking for the adult.
Aren't you like technically older?
Oh, she's technically older than all of you combined.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
I need an adult. We're all-
I need an adult. I find myself in many areas of my life needing an adult in role-playing games, and I often don't get one. But Omni's the captain, so I gotta clear what colors they want us to fly under.
Purple.
Oh well, I was just. I'll have Stitch start making an alternate material to place on the flag. I mean, clearly we can't fly underneath the colors of the Clovis Conclave, but I would
What if we
imagine-
had multiple?
Well, it depends on our intent, doesn't it? I mean, if we...
Hence why I'm yelling for Omni.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
not responding to me. You would
Omni,
think
give me a
it's such small
perception check
ship.
really quick. 13? You're pretty far down the cargo hold, down where the hawk is, so you really don't hear. Medi, there's no response from Omni at this point. Other than you see Jin come out of the hold, kind of stretching and looking around on the upper deck.
Jin,
Hmm?
can you go find Omni?
Captain!
I tried that.
Eventually, Jin finds you down the cargo
Captain!
hold.
Yep.
I was supposed to tell you something.
He's such a dick. Gatharan, give me a performance check as the wind kind of
Who was
begins
it?
to give you some issues.
One moment.
Okay.
That would be a 12.
Okay.
Because I rolled 13.
Might as well perform. Give me sleight of hand with disadvantage, please. Oh no, it's over a 10. Regular sleight of hand, please.
That's... Where's my sleight of hand?
Math, people. Math. Learn it. Embrace
It's a
it.
dirty 20.
2020, nice. You compensated. Jin is down there with you at this point. Both of you can hear Max kind of stir in his hammock. Oh, I've been up all night. Can you just... And he just kind of leans over. The book falls off his chest onto the ground and clack, just kind of falls, and he rolls over to go back to sleep.
Pick the book up.
Okay, you grab it.
What was going on? Jin? What was it?
Hmm?
You said you were supposed to tell me something.
I didn't tell you?
Gonna start reading the book.
Yeah. Give me investigation as you start to read the book. Maddie, at this point, there's no sign of Jin and no sign of Omni.
You You give them one job. You just ask them to go get one person.
17.
Oh my god.
It's a book on
Captain's
folklore
reading
and
a
superstitions
book, but he's
and
not
mystery.
reading it out
The idea
loud.
of
I go
uh,
track him
legends.
down
Follow
at this point.
along.
And I'll say, because you can hear Jen's
If
song kind of echo up through the hole,
the captain
you
would
make your way
read out
down,
loud,
and
so
there is
I
Max
can know
turned onto
what
his side
he's
trying to sleep. There's
reading
Omni
out loud.
looking at a book amongst all this cargo that's been kind of like undone around him and
Oh!
ordered. And as you step
Eddie's
in,
looking for you, Captain.
and Omni, there's Medi kind of stepping into the cargo bay.
As a matter of fact, I was. Yes.
Wow, what's going on?
He's like a dog that has only been taught the first half of fetch.
Use that word "taught" very loosely.
Taught, yeah.
Get the ball.
It hasn't quite been taught it yet. He's only got the
Thank
first
you.
part of the lesson. You're welcome.
Above game, I do remember something. We reviewed Thorvald's letter that absolved Keth of guilt and was so
Oh,
was
right.
for Max, letting him know everything's going to plan.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
And we have yet to decide whether or not we're going to tell any of them.
No, we haven't. So, book on lore and legends.
Well, I mean, at this point, Medi, you found Omni, so if you want to,
Second edition.
Second edition.
Yes,
no,
I
it's
would.
more of an antiquarian perspective. Like maybe
It's more like advanced folklore and
you
I was
kind of
gonna
look
say
up from the
that's,
book as you realize that the author goes by the name of Wyndham Branford. And there was like a forward you were reading, and this was some Clovis Conclave historian that was doing an aggregated collection of myths, superstitions, urban legends, and stuff like that. And it was maybe written about 50 years ago, 40 years ago.
I was making an advanced
Interesting.
Dungeons and Dragons reference to the Legends and Lore book, which was written about 35 or 40 years ago.
What's going on, Medi? What were you looking for?
Yes, actually, I just had a question. I know that we were proposing possibly having a cover for the flag, and a very salient point. What colors should we be flying under?
I mean,
I suggested maybe having multiples that we could interchange
yeah, that would be
based on the
great.
situation.
Which ones? The Conclave.
Uh-huh.
What
Do
was
we
the-
want something independent?
Yeah, we definitely should have.
I mean,
our
I'll
own-
tell you this
our own
much. I mean, you
brand
know
at
that
some point.
Thorvald has dissolved all the guild houses.
Mhm.
So that's going to make it easy to pretty much come up with anything you want on your own these days.
Mhm.
Because with all the guild houses and no actual guild structure anymore, chaos is probably going to begin to ensue within the next few days amongst the shipping and maritime community.
Well, I mean, we
you're
could
pretty much
just
free to
have
build
some
whatever you
guild
want,
houses.
really, yeah.
What was that, Medi?
I said, well, I mean, we could just have some for different guild houses if we really wanted to go that far.
Yeah.
What'd you say was on deck?
The twins, Clark, and I think Stitch. Did I say Stitch?
Stitch is in the cookery.
Yeah, he's in the
galley.
cookery. So it's
Kath.
Kath and Kath.
No, Keth wasn't assigned to anything.
Right, but she's up. She's just not
Stitch was
assigned
just
to
on
anything.
deck.
Oh, okay.
But she still has to take part of the watch because she's taking passage. So she would have been. She's now active as watch now. She would have slept through the night. So the Crooked Face, Labash, Nala are asleep currently, along with Max.
And
Maximus being
Brackish
asleep.
is in the crow's foot or crow's nest, or
Brackish is up on deck speaking initially with Medi. So he's up.
We should
The night watch is just 3 individuals who keep a rotative watch of their own. It's just designed to get you guys through the evening. They'll actually be up in about 4 hours because they have their own rotation schedule as well to keep an eye on things. Being this far out in Lucidian Sea, and these are known maritime lanes, the threat's not that significant yet. And you know, you guys had made you made it known. Let's get to Earl Bay. Let's finish the refit, finish the resourcing, meet up with the Hawk ship, and figure out what to do next. So that's kept the crew hyper focused.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Brackish to check on the battery and the cannons. Make sure they're ready to go. Considering I'm the officer on deck at the moment.
Okay. I could take a look at that. I'll probably grab Clark. We'll take an eye at that.
We should let Stitch know to make a duplicate of the different guild houses' flags and just start to get working on that, but then also to create one that is the same design as the ring that Gromit's making. So it has the eye.
Gromit's the other one asleep as well. He would have been on the night watch.
So it has the eye with a lightning bolt as the kind of like cat-like pupil.
Okay.
So we can have that as kind of our squad flag, and then the other ones if we need to switch them out for passage and such.
Fair enough.
And Kath is a scribe, so she can put together any documents we need for those types of
She,
jobs.
as far as you know, she's a capable scribe. Worked directly for Thorvald. She's also
a captain.
Yeah, she did used to be a captain as well. I don't know. Have you shared that with everybody though?
No one's asked.
Well, then you haven't shared it. But currently, Jin, Medi, and Omni are still down in the main hold. Unless you want to wander off and go solve the issue with the different available flags. You then hear 4 bells and land ho again.
Do we know what 4 bells means? Is that like a distance thing?
It's probably within 4 miles.
Yeah, we'll go let Stitch know.
Okay.
And then also, yeah, we have to decide if we're telling, and I'll point down to Max. And
Oh, you mean Mr. Hawk?
Mr. Hawk.
Oh, Mr. Hawk. We need to include you.
Jin, go upstairs.
Okay.
I'll put the book down next to the food and go upstairs.
Just a few more hours, please. Just a couple more hours. And I'll be up. I promise. I promise. He kind of like pulls a blanket tighter around his neck and rolls over.
About 4 miles out from land.
Oh, fuck. We're already there. Okay. Okay. He kind of like swings out of the hammock and he's definitely kind of gets out and he's not limping as much anymore. Most of the cuts and bruises have already either faded or probably been magically dealt with to a certain degree. Gets up, throws off his old tunic undergarments and kind of puts on his lighter garments and then a waistcoat and puts on his rapier and kind of puts the pistol in the front of his belt and ties back his long hair and grooms himself and shakes it out. Says, "Oh, is that breakfast?"
Yeah.
"Oh, good." Claps his hands, grabs the plate, and begins to make his way up to the deck of the ship. You eventually find Stitch, give him the information he needs. "Well, I could just make a bunch of different ones for you."
That'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll work on that tonight. I've got to do some sail repair. Once that's done, I can I can work on it. I gotta find some. Look, when we get to Earl Bay, if you could have some of our mates look for some bolts of fabric of a variety of color, that would be helpful. Right now we have sailcloth.
Is that something that you want to be in charge of?
No, not really.
Do you have specific colors?
Yeah, all the colors of the rainbow, mate.
Okay.
Just assume that it's got color, grab it, pay for it, bring it back on board, I'll make use of it. I can assure you. Right now, all I got
our
is...
colors be just a pride flag? Can our colors just be the most gay?
Send people that are colorblind to go look for the flavor.
Good. Good.
But those are the best people to send for colors. I found a lot of gray. It's like bright yellow.
Sweet. Okay, Stitch, sounds good. We'll get the sisters.
Oh yeah, I would imagine they
one
could
of them
be.
or both. They probably will.
What's the one's name? The druid, the one that knows the magics.
Then
I had both of their names wrong, so
Wendy.
I had like Jennifer.
Yeah, I think it's Wendy. Send her. I think she's capable to find what I need.
Wendy and Tanya.
Yeah.
Cool.
they were named after.
So 4
Oh,
miles.
shit.
How long?
I'm
should
like,
that-
I thought all my notes just if I'm on the right tab, it's easier.
Yeah, that definitely helps. So the 4 miles to get in, approximately how long do we know that to be?
Gatharn's
Yeah,
currently
we
on the
have-
helm. Gatharn, go ahead and give me survival with advantage as you are being slightly assisted by Gromit, who is managing at the
Thought he was
bow
asleep.
at the
That Gromit was night crewing asleep.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Gromit.
Keth.
Keth. Keth would be
'Cause
assisting you at this point.
Clark and Braggish are checking the battery.
Correct.
Okay, you said survival?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, that is a dirty 20.
Yeah, you're about 30 minutes out. For anybody that's on deck, you can now see 3 other ships. The massive hulk of the Hawk is the first one you see. It's currently anchored at bay. Near the very telltale signs of the beginning of a 2-dock harbor, you can see 2 other ships anchored or tethered and attached to those 2 docks. There is a series of large hillsides on this island, mostly covered in palm tree-like canopy, big rocks kind of jetting out from the side. You can see an old ruined town on the edge of the island, and then you can see what looks like a small village kind of in the island, like in the bay of the island itself. You hear like one bell, boom, and then the warning that you're less than an hour from making it into the bay.
Medi, we should lower the colors.
Yeah, of course.
Alright.
I go to do that.
Don't want anyone.
Those of you on
touching
deck,
but you.
give me perception checks, please. Jin, where are you at this point?
He told me to just go upstairs, so I'm upstairs.
Of course you are.
Just upstairs.
Perfectly techno. Thank you for the raid. Much appreciated.
Guys, we're so close to 400 followers.
We are.
I feel it. I called it. I said there was gonna be a raid that pushes us over the
Don't
end.
stop. We're so close.
We're so close.
17.
Oh,
Flamtastic. Look at the
Perception.
cool badger faces that are in the channel. It's so cool.
21.
21. What'd you get, Catharn?
17.
17. Medi?
Tiny paws, look. Tiny feet. She's run over here to
She's
give
being
me a
attacked by the
hug.
beam.
9.
9. So for Jen, are you on the main deck or where are you currently? You're muted.
Yeah, he's on top.
wherever the thing is, and then the stairs. I'm just like,
Wherever
so
the
wherever
thing
the hawk is, right upstairs.
The hawk's on deck at this point, looking to get breakfast.
No. Wherever we were at the bottom where the hawk was,
Okay.
wherever the stairs immediately led up to, that's
Okay.
where he's patrolling.
Okay, so you're on the
At the
common
top of the
deck and the
stairs.
gunnery deck.
Yeah.
You're like amongst the gunnery deck where Brackish and Clark are currently servicing the different, and we're 3 cannons on one side, 3 cannons on the other side, I believe. Correct?
We don't have a cannon. We don't have a gun deck.
thought
You
you
said we
did.
had to
No,
take.
we are in
Oh,
a
we had to take
schooner.
ballistas.
We
up
have-
on
Oh,
top
that's
of
right.
the-
You have ballistas.
Ballistas, and we have
ballistas.
those 2 like smaller cannons.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
Firbolg
The
equipped us
2
with.
like hand, like the pivot mounted hand cannons. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're built for speed.
We're built for speed, son. We're built for speed.
Yep, so I'm in the cruise quarter / the storage room.
Okay, so for Omni and Gatharn, neither the Hawk or the other 2 ships are flying any colors. They show no signs of flags or anything else. There are people milling about the center of the village as well as on the main dock. They seem to be busy either unloading or loading things, like kind of like that early activity of dealing with stuff.
Captain, should probably let the rest of the crew know that we're getting close to shore.
Do we ring a bell? Do we have one on?
It's up to
Yeah.
you. I mean, you guys gotta have to make the decision. Are you gonna go try to dock? Are you gonna? Because here's a couple challenges you have. You don't have a pilot assist because this is just a simple little island with a little bay-like entry. So there's no pilot to assist bringing the ship in like most of the larger harbors. Now the schooner's smaller than most,
Yeah.
so it's a more versatile ship.
Got this. We're not
you-
that heavy. We're not that deep.
Well, we'll
Is it-
need someone on the prow with the
Yeah.
stick.
Is the water really clear
With that perception roll, yes. You're
Yeah, we
maybe
can see
at
with our depth,
you're maybe at about 25 feet at this point, which I think is almost 3 fathoms. A fathom is 10 feet, correct? I think.
Yes.
I think.
I'd have to Google it. I
got it.
was. Hey, Navy person, how much is a fathom? That's you, man.
I was also in the process of looking it up because I felt like I knew, but I wasn't sure.
I love that.
I was like,
This is when I let you
6
know
feet.
about Cat's past as a
6
previous
feet.
captain.
So it is currently 5 fathoms, 30 feet. So you're currently at 5 fathoms. The
basically-
draft on your ship is pretty shallow, so I mean
Yeah.
you could probably get into 10 feet of water without getting into immediate trouble. Plus, you're not heavy in the hold, so your cargo is mostly non-existent at this point, other than what
mostly
you
all the gold and gems. That we
and
got.
what you got from some of the
And
stuff. that you got
Thorvald's
from
fucking
Thorvald's.
hammer.
Yeah, that's what's
Mm.
holding us down. That's what's making us sink.
That's why the whole ship is like.
No, the hammer's in the freaking secret compartment, so it's dead center. But yeah, at the same time,
We'll go ahead and
Gatharn will
sound.
be telling Omni like, Keth on Prow should be. She used to be a captain.
Oh, that's interesting.
Gatharn be twerking. Fucking did.
Yeah. Yeah. Have her go up front and guide us in.
Oi, pegs!
Yeah.
Prow, please.
You want me to draw fathoms?
Please.
Oh, all right. You watch. She just, without even questioning it, grabs the coiled up metal object that's on one of the pegs and limps up to the front of the ship, and she throws it out. And so, as you're guiding the ship in, whether you want to anchor at bay or try to make it into the dock, you'll have advantage because she'll be helping you. It's your call.
Is it
It's his call.
easier,
It's your
faster, more advantageous to be slightly out? And then we can disembark faster if need be. We don't have a dinghy, do we?
You have 2 small. What are they called?
I'd suggest asking the druid to see if there's weather coming in.
There are 2 small boats on the schooner. Can hold 3 people.
Okay, so we can.
And if there's weather coming in, that would also make our decision.
Yeah.
We want to be in harbor or bay if there's weather.
What was Wendy? Wendy is the
Is the
Druid.
druid.
That'd be my suggestion there, Captain.
Wendy, Moira, Angela.
Yes,
Oh,
Captain.
there
Darling.
How's the weather looking? Should
We are looking
anchor?
clear for the next 2 days.
All right, that's good. Let's keep a little bit of a distance then. Drop anchor a little bit outside of the docks.
I relay the commands to Keth.
Yeah. Keth kind of with Brackish and Clark completing their job. They're on deck doing some of the physical labor. Stopping out at bay doesn't really require a performance check for you because you just kind of settle at about maybe 1,000 feet out in the bay near the Hawk ship, but not too close to it. You can see 2 other vessels on the harbor docks. Crowds of people are more obvious now. It's the mid-morning activity is kind of stepping up. You hear the swoosh of the anchor, and the remainder of the crew doing their kind of activities of bringing down the sails, securing the mast, securing the holds, and kind of putting the ship in a condition of being at anchor at this point. At this point, it's mid-morning, close to early afternoon by the time you guys get all settled in. 2 of the smaller boats have been kind of lowered into the water in case they need to be used. And there is a third. There's a tether boat that's let out purposely far near the back end of the ship. And that one holds only 2 people. So everything they've been trying to do is kind of coming together at this point.
Wonderful.
When I was training them, who seemed the most capable?
Clark. Definitely Clark. Brackish, definitely from a first mate perspective, like a good brain on top of that head.
Brackish was the one who had ambitions to have
Yeah,
captaincy.
yeah. And he was on the ambitious side as well.
He was also the first mate of the Black Eye.
All of you can hear from the Hawk. Ahoy! Do you guys have the new ship's name painted on the side?
Yeah.
Storm's Eye is our captain with you. You see a big war-forged individual up on the prow of the ship with a giant cone in front of his face.
Trying to see if I have any spells that make my
Who do we
voice
have as
louder.
casters on the ship? Just Wendy and Keth that I'm aware of.
Well, you're not even sure what Keth's capabilities are. All she did was heal you.
Yeah.
Wendy, Keth, and Omni.
Ahoy! Storm's Eye!
I'll just yell back, "Aye!" I'll wave and
You watch as a
Point to Max standing
huge
next to him.
metallic arm comes up and kind of waves back at you.
we'll
Maximus comes over. Moment. Ahoy! I'm here. Normal protocols and procedures. I think I'm going to be here for a bit. And kind of lowers his hands and both arms come up and then conversation concludes.
So we got a bunch of choices to make. Where should we have conversations? On whose ship? Where should we go in? Once we get
Well,
there, we need to make repairs.
I
figure out
don't
all
know
the
if we have a bunch of
logistics.
choices to make. I think you lot have a simple choice to make. I mean, are you and yours in, or are you out? No matter what, Earl Bay will suffer the weight of your coin and do whatever it is that you require of them. It is not Thorvald's island by any stretch of the imagination. But on that other ship is the other version of Thorvald? What are we calling that exactly? Based on what I studied last night, I'm not even sure that the one that was in the magistrate office was the one that I thought was Thorvald, to be honest with you. He's been working on this for quite some time.
So potentially there could be another Thorvald out there somewhere, and this was just some cooped out copy that went a little mad, maybe?
Where are you having the conversation? Right next to me?
Pretty much. Whoever's on deck would be privy to this. And pretty much all of you are on deck at this point, with the exception of Jen, who was wandering the gunnery deck on the schooner.
Jen, get up here.
Arcana check.
Yeah.
I want to see if I know about the clone.
Jen, come to the deck. We need your advice.
And I don't.
That doesn't sound like the
Pretty
captain. The
sure.
captain would never respect my advice.
Even Betty's like, oh, fuck, don't invite him up here for this.
Yeah, that's just an 8.
Wait.
That is an 8. That's a 10.
I mean, as far as you're concerned, there's no real such thing that you're aware of called a clone spell specifically. Once again, most of what you've been kind of absorbing from all the activity is Thorvald was trying to build something on his own, and he was using lots of little bits and parts of other ideas of magic and theory and transmutation, which is a little bit of alchemy. He clearly was working on something very precise and intricate around the nature of being able to clone himself. That much is known through all the note-taking, even Medi would know this because she spent some time.
I don't know if I like the way you said even Medi, as it
Yeah,
Well,
even an idiot like Medi
even
would
an
figure that
idiot with
shit
20
together.
intelligence.
Any fool with a 20.
you're
Normally,
so smart,
Medi
you're
wouldn't
dumb.
care about this kind of nonsense, but the alchemy side of it has intrigued her because of the concoction that Thorvald was working on, which begged another question in regards to what really is Thorvald? Why in the hell would he even have the knowledge and the want to make the concoction?
Insight
How
check?
can he do that much psychic damage?
That's what I'm gonna go off of. Is from what I've seen of Thorvald,
He just
from when he
mentally...
did the psychic smackdown of Jin, from all his other actions with the freaking zone of truth.
You can make an insight check on that whole situation.
He's oblivious. That's a 9.
Yeah, I mean, piloting the ship for the first time in a long time, you're pretty distracted. It's right now, Thorvald just feels like an unknown factor. What seemed to be a very predictable personality has become more convoluted.
Madness will do that to you. Oh, hey, Jen.
Madness will do that to you. Oh, hey, Jen. Jen's now on the main deck.
Hello.
We're gonna be going into the bay soon. Is there anything that you want to get for the ship, for yourself?
No.
Oh, also, do you want to run away to the sea and do whatever you want, or stay part of Thorvald's plan? Just curious.
Oh, that's not heavy at all. Even Brackish and Max kind of walk away from this conversation briefly, just to kind of talk amongst themselves.
What's the geography of Earl Bay look like?
It looks like an atoll with island hillsides that have kind of collapsed in on themselves, palm tree covered and very tightly cloistered. An old ruined village slightly elevated up to the center of the atoll, and a functioning kind of fisherman style village like down in the bay portion where the other ships are.
What other kind of trees? Just palms?
Mostly palms, yeah.
Mostly palms.
From what you can see from here, yeah.
Coconut oil.
I was thinking lumber for the ship.
Yeah, that too.
Palms don't work.
I was just thinking about moisturizing. It was really sunny the past few days.
Save me. Somebody
little-
save
little
me.
pink.
I'm looking at Medi going,
You know, I would love to know how you're looking at me if I could see the other half of your face.
You have to scoot
you're
more.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, he's doing
Yeah, you're
that.
like way over there.
Yeah, just
Look,
pull the
all
chair
right,
closer.
I'm comfortable, and I forget
Uh-huh.
that there's cameras.
Yes.
That says a lot, actually.
You were saying you looking at Betty like what
Yeah,
now?
I'm giving like Medi this look of. It's our captain.
Yeah, no,
You know.
I understand.
In 50
Gotta make
years,
sure they're moisturized.
in 50 years, we'll still look like this, and you'll look like
Which
a
is
crinkled old
important.
man. So
Moisturize me.
you need it. You need it. A little crusty in the cracks there.
I don't care.
Okay.
This is 40.
So, Jen,
Look at all this gray hair at 40.
Yeah.
thoughts?
Besides Medi?
Fucking hate you.
Besides Medi?
Oh, not a thought, like a head thought. Okay.
Excuse me?
A head thought.
Maddie,
Other
you,
thoughts?
you have every right to just shove Jen overboard
I'm
right
pretty
now.
sure out of this entire crew, I'm probably the last person that should be called that.
I agree.
Above game, Gatharn is the thought.
Catharine is 100% a thought.
Yeah, you don't need to say that's above game. It's been fully realized.
In game.
Yeah, but Gatharn's not gonna freaking go. If there's
I'm
any
thought.
thoughts on board, it's me.
It's me.
Because he doesn't know what a thought is. In that regard.
What do you think we should do, Jen? Follow Thorvald's
no.
plan? Tear down the conclave?
Whatever you think is best, Captain. I don't.
And a dragon flies in.
Yeah, see, but we asked your
We're gonna
opinion
take a
and
quick
your
potty
thought.
break while the dragon attacks.
My
Oh.
opinion.
Thoughts on the situation?
I don't. What's the situation? We're still gonna be on the ship, and we're all gonna be friends, right? Captain. Captain.
How? What's... He doesn't
Captain?
know any...
Hello. Captain.
Medi,
Captain.
Mm-hmm. How
Captain.
can I assist you?
Captain.
help me out. What do we do?
Captain.
How do we...
We're trying to make a decision about what we want to do with the rest of our lives. Hmm?
Or at least the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably all die.
Well,
So nice.
okay. So, do you want to go out and explore? Do you want to be your own boss?
All right, so what's the plan?
We're discussing that as we speak.
I mean,
Sounded like that
always
was a thing
sounds
that
great.
was very important to you.
That is. Always sounds wonderful. But
So, sounds a little bit like that decision's been made.
this is also
if
a group decision.
I may make a suggestion
Mm-hmm.
before we declare ourselves. Gather intel. Let's share minds with the other ships. Get a copy of their maps. As well as share resources. I.e., we take their resources and give them coin.
Mama always said sharing is caring.
See, Jen, now, was that so difficult?
We had different mamas.
That was valuable
Oh,
input.
why
Thank
would
for
you
sharing.
be so mean about it? That we have different parents. That's okay, and I'm sure your mama raised you very well, but you don't have to come out and say anything bad about my mama.
I'm not saying anything bad about your mama.
The
Just
way
saying
you
my
said
mama
it's-
didn't say anything about sharing is caring. So take what you want.
sharing is caring.
Give nothing back.
and
As
give
this
nothing back.
conversation goes on, an arcane hole and then an empty jug crashes onto the deck of the ship and then closes.
Arcana check.
Is that the jug that you threw overboard? for your friend?
Is it?
Looks like it. Yep.
Empty though, right?
Empty and broken. Is
All
it-
right, payment's been accepted.
For what now?
Explain.
What? Payment?
Well, I asked the Nixie to go wake up the dragon turtle. I paid it. It gave the bottle back. Rum's gone. Payment's been accepted.
Bottle's broken. Does that mean like it was really good? Because
Oh, you know, accidents
Well,
happen all the
it
time,
popped out of
Captain.
thin air and fell to the ground.
that's what that was. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Mhm. That
Gravity
makes
kinda
perfect
did
sense.
that.
Yeah.
All right, well then let's converse with the other ships and
We're just
Have
gonna
it.
move on from that. We're just gonna. Okay.
Well, let's get Tharn. You know what? What else can you do?
Gatharn knows somebody named Nixie that drank his rum and woke up the dragon turtle.
Well,
Mhm.
that's just racist.
Is that not what you said?
A Nixie is a water fairy.
Oh, a Nixie. I thought you said your cousin's name was Nixie.
No, I said the Nixie.
Got it. Got it.
I didn't ask it its name.
So I don't mean to intrude on this intelligent
hey.
conversation
Whoa,
that's
whoa.
been going on for a while, but I was wondering, shall we disembark? I would like to go check in on my ship, and more importantly, I'd like to go check in on the other Thorvald before the day gets started.
I'll stay
We should
on
call
board.
it the husk, the body,
Are we?
the avatar. Nah, that sounds.
Dead Thorvald.
But not
Dead-
the dead one.
dead?
Oh wait, no,
Thorvald.
no. That's not
Inanimate.
Sleepy.
Brackish, could I borrow
two-
one of those dinghies, please, so I can make my way over to the Hulk? Yeah, Captain.
He's talking
is-
about the ship, Brackish, not what's in your pants. You keep that for your husband.
Captain, is it okay if the Hulk takes the dinghy over to?
With supervision.
Yeah. Clog, take him over, would you? Yeah, I'll get right on that. Sir. And you watch the two of them kind of go over the rail and climb down. The
I'll
schooner's
give
only
Clark
2.5.
eye to, like,
What's
watch him?
Clark
Mhm.
got with him? Weapon-wise.
Clark has his two-handed mace strapped to his back. He's got a single pistol jammed in his belt. He's wearing his simple leathers, his studded leathers, and pretty much it.
Just making sure he's not going unarmed.
He seems to be armed. And you guys watch as the dinghy as he's pulling the rowboat, and the whole time Max is giving him direction on how best to approach his ship. His 8-story ship.
We have one other dinghy, you said?
You have 3. One is a smaller one
And then one's in
behind.
the back. Gotcha.
One has currently been gotten by Clark to head over to the Hawk, and there's one left below.
So we'll send Wendy and Crooked Face and Gromit
Okay.
into.
It's been long enough. They've woken from their cycle of sleep, so they're on deck as well.
We'll have them go into one of the other dinghies to go into town.
And my
to
understanding
get
is
all
I'm
of the
supposed to
things.
get linens for
Yes.
Stitch.
Many colors, as many as you can find.
Do I have a budget?
Nope.
I don't have any coin.
Oh no, sorry. The budget, but in the idea of like a limit to how much to spend. No, you don't have a limit to how much to spend.
I don't think they have an exorbitant market here, but I can do what I can.
Can I roll an intelligence check
Wendy?
to see how much money to give them?
Sure. Her?
Her?
You got anything that could like enhance my eyesight?
17.
Your eyesight? What's wrong with your eyes? Are they broken?
Okay, fine. I just want to be able to see long distances in case someone starts coming up on our ass.
Starts checking his apron. Throws you a pair of glasses.
No, Wendy. Not
Oh,
Gromit.
I thought you were talking to me.
No, I said Wendy.
Oh.
Why the fuck would I be talking to the gnome?
Well, because I make things. I thought you were saying you want like a special pair of goggles. It's like
I see
everywhere
those
I
Oh, that's
go.
a fucking
I
telescope,
want to
you
see
little
what those
shit.
glasses do. We're gonna put those glasses on that he.
It makes it real blurry. when you
Okay,
throw-
so it's not like okay, good. I was like, no, you hold on to those.
Oh.
Those aren't.
Well, what do you mean make you see better? Are you...
Something to enhance my sight so I can see,
See
further. Without the
I can
need
certainly
of a
do it.
fucking telescope.
I can do it for myself. I don't... I mean, I can't just touch your little cute little nose and make you see well. That's not how it works.
Didn't hurt to ask.
No,
Get us
actually,
some,
it hurt a
sight
great
glasses.
deal for you to ask me. Anyways,
Sight
coin,
glasses.
Captain?
Yes, fabric of multiple colors.
And
I rolled
sight
a 17
glasses.
on my.
I mean, maybe 50 gold would be all she
Okay.
needs.
Ow.
And sight glasses.
Sight glasses. Yes. Oh, a scope.
A sight glass.
I'll look for... I'm sure there's nautical equipment there somewhere, so I'll find it.
I'll give 100 gold.
She takes the 2 coin purses, puts them in her messenger bag. So me, Gromit, and... Who else is going?
Crooked face.
Crooked Face. Why is Crooked Face going?
Security.
Oh, yes. Well, he'll probably just keep people away with his looks, but very well.
Manners. That's your crew member.
Well, yeah, I know, but he's...
Respect.
What do
Sure.
we know about Earl Bay? Does it have a forge?
It'll probably have a blacksmithy to do basic work. I mean, it's not a big community. It's just one of those waypoints that people use from time to time. It's maybe a couple hundred people at best.
Gromit. If you go to a forge, find supplies so that you could have a mini forge on the ship.
Oh, okay. I could do that. I don't know if there's enough room for one here though. I mean, it's pretty cramped down there. I mean, I don't know if you guys realize this, but you have a pretty big crew for a small ship.
Yeah.
Oh, is that I'm just going to make... Okay, fine.
Saving lives.
Okay.
The island. Never mind.
Captain, how long will you plan on staying here?
How long are those final repairs that we need to make?
No shit.
Brackish kind of settles up to that point that when he hears Omni say that, I mean, the main ridge line of the schooner needs a little bit of work. I'd like to do some repair work on the mast as well in case we get rough weather. And if we find ourselves in a bit of a fight, 2 days maybe 3 if things don't go according to plan.
We've got 2 days of clear weather.
Yep. Okay.
I need to ask, there was talk of a naval fleet that was in pursuit. Do we still think that they're part of this equation?
Probably. But there were many ships that were fleeing the Revels.
We'll just assume a
different
24-hour watch then, up in the crow's nest.
Yep.
I'm going to ask Gromit how long it would take for him to adjust the haft of Thorvald's hammer.
Oh, I don't really have time to examine it now, but I can take a look at it when I get back.
Rough guesstimate.
Well, I mean, when you say adjust, do you want to make it smaller? Do you want to make... Because you keep in mind, it's going to mess up the balance. The size of that maw's head is based on the heft of the shaft. I mean, it's going to... I don't know. I'd have to possibly retool the whole weapon to make it work. But like I said...
More than 2 days.
I mean, when I get back from Earl Bay, I can take a look at it and let you know. Plus, having more supplies will help me a bit as well, to take that into consideration.
Also look for forge. On Earl Bay. Like a full forge.
I doubt they'll have the capacity or the ability. I mean, for the most part, a place like this is making nails and spikes and small hammers and shovels and picks, and a full forge, I mean, would require at least 4 blacksmiths and carpenters, and I can't imagine they'll have one, but I will check to see what I can find.
And then Crooked Face if he could help acquire the supplies for the repairs that Brackish needs for the mast and all of those.
Yeah, I can do that, yeah.
I'll be right back.
How much would that be?
Probably 100 gold max. I mean, between what you gave Wendy and what giving 100 gold, I mean, 200 gold should pretty much, if they have everything you need, I mean, should pretty much get you what you need.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool. All right, and when shall we get together and chat with the other captains?
I mean, you don't even know where the other two captains are because they're at dock.
What's the other ship with the hawk? Is it one that we recognize?
From this distance, and the angle that they're kind of at dock, it's kind of hard to see. Their banners are not up. Can't quite see the front, and although you could see the rear. So the one on the left is the Blue Thorn, and the one on the right is the Opaque Eye.
And this is a ship we didn't see. We didn't see them when they were at the Rolls. Okay. So we still have the dinghy that can take 2.
3.
3.
And then the one that can take 2 as well.
Gotcha. No, because Max and Bracket.
That was the other one that could take 3. There's one that's tethered near the rear of the vessel that's about 30 feet out that can hold 2.
Gotcha. So Gromit and Cat.
Wendy.
Or not Cat.
Gromit, Wendy, and
Crooked Face.
Crooked Face could take one of the dinghies in.
Perfect. All right. Do you guys want to go over to the Hawk?
Oops. Let me move that out of the window.
Yeah, we get in the dinghy. Start heading over to the Hawk.
Can they not hear you? Medi, Jin, can you guys hear us? Okay. I think Omni was trying to ask you guys
was
something.
like,
You
"Yep."
weren't responding.
We go to the Hawk.
Okay.
When you asked, I was nodding.
I know, Jin's just staring.
We'll say it's now getting on to afternoon. Wendy and the others get into the dinghy, head in. Eventually, Clark brings back the other dinghy. The 3 of you can make your way in. Gatharin has decided to stay on deck of the ship. Otherwise, the ship's crew continues to do what they're expected to do and continue on. The 3 of you make your way over towards the Hawk. Once there's a rope ladder flung over. It's about a 50-foot climb up to the deck of the ship. As the 3 of you kind of carefully make your way up onto the deck, it is very busy, and there is Max standing there in his now newly acquired clothes. He's talking to his large Warforged captain, and then kind of the Warforged responds, yes, sir, and then turns and walks away. And, well, so nice of the 3 of you to join me. No Gathan?
He was staying back on the deck.
No. How unfortunate. I find his questions quite interesting, actually.
We could yell for him to come if you want.
No, it's quite all right.
Darn! Do you want to come over onto the Hawk? Are you sure?
I don't hear shit.
Yeah, no clue. No answer, no response.
Guess it's just us.
Shall we head into my quarters for our conversation?
Yeah. Is your captain coming?
No, we has business to attend to. We've been working on a new gunnery project, and well, needless to say, he's been busy dealing with that. When you have 50 cannon on board, you need to make sure that they are ship-shape.
Keth is still on the Storm's Eye, right?
Yep. The three of you follow Max towards the back of the ship, walk up to the captain's quarters deck, go through the kind of like double hardwood doors and into just the reminder of that garish space that you'd been in before when you had dinner with him during the Revels. It's messy, but not unnecessarily messy. It's just someone who hasn't been in their quarters for a while. The four of you kind of take seats amongst like the kind of general seating area that's spread around, the bookcases and all the maps and all the accoutrement that you remember seeing here before is still here. Eventually, a small human cabin boy kind of makes his way in. I can't call you captain. Would you like me to bring food, sir? No, I think we're fine. Please make sure that the door's locked, would you? I don't want anyone coming in. And cabin boy kind of leaves, and you hear like a locking sound from the outside. There. It is just four people having a conversation about the end of the world. Where shall we start? First of all, can I now say that it's just the four of us? Is it a bit weird that Thorvald's in a giant ceramic container down in my hold? That a dead version of him was also seen. And I believe Gathon has his head in a pickle jar. Is that correct?
It's a barrel of alcohol.
Sure, but do we understand why Gathon has done this?
To preserve it so it lasts longer, as alcohol is normally used to preserve.
I understand the chemistry of preservation, Omni.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate your candor.
Then why'd you ask the question?
That wasn't the question
you-
I
if you-
asked. The question I asked was why did he
No,
do
you did
it?
ask. No,
Not
yeah,
what
you
he
asked him
did.
why. Yeah, no, you asked
I
him
know
why
the
he did it.
what.
Then he
Jin.
told you
I
what
know
he
the what.
did, and it was to preserve the head. And now you're
That's
getting.
the
Why are you getting
what.
so angry?
That's the
We
why.
let you sleep on our ship, and you woke up, and we let you stay in for
I
a
hate
little
him.
bit, and now
I
you're so
hate him
grouchy.
so much.
Hate's a very strong word, mister. Are you sure that's the appropriate one you want to use?
Despise?
Loathe.
I don't know that word, so let's go with it.
Anyways, where shall we begin first?
How about with everything you know about Thorvald's plan? You are his master spy.
My part of his plan has come to a conclusion. My part was to protect the integrity of the location of the Revels, which for all intents and purposes we had done. We sussed out the drow triplets that were sent there clearly to either disrupt or spy or potentially steal something. And then the implication was then the execution of Thorvald's plan. And then once that was executed, I was to be told how to best use the Whispering Ear network in regards to that execution. So I have a problem. My understanding is the plan's been executed, but I have no Thorvald to tell me what to do next. So I'm not really entirely sure what I'm supposed to do next.
Team meeting. The three of us just huddle in real quick.
So, should we tell him about the note? Should we tell him about the letter?
You could tell me about the letter first.
What letter?
Captain, I was like, I'm surrounded by idiots.
Mostly because I don't know anything about a letter.
Medi knows about the letter, right?
I'm sure
you-
Maddie does. I don't.
Oh, the letter.
Okay, so
that,
basically, it was
Yeah,
the
last session.
letter.
that Gatharn found under Thorvald's
It
desk.
basically was Thorvald saying that this is all going according to plan. Max, please forgive Keth. I made her do it. is essentially the gist of the letter.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if this was one of the things that Medi found that one session I wasn't here, so I was like, what
No,
are we
no,
talking
this
Fair
is-
point.
No, no,
That's a fair
this was
point.
towards the end of last session.
Because Medi actually did find a lot of shit. I mean, you found the main access to the secret room, so
Yeah.
fair point.
So,
I'm gonna need you to stop yawning because it's just killing me. Yeah, probably.
One
I
hit
would
point
assume,
at a
yeah,
time.
probably. We should do that.
okay.
Actually, fuck you, Jin. Fuck you, Jin.
Did Gatharn give Omni the letter? Is that something that Omni has, or did you keep that? Okay. We'll break, and then we'll ta-da! Like a letter appears.
Ooh, a letter.
Seems things are going according to Thorvald's plan. And I'll hand Max the letter and watch him see if he finds anything with the
He
letter that we
reaches
didn't
over
see.
and
I even held it up to light to see if there was like invisible link.
he holds it for a moment, and he kind of feels the corner of it. He reaches over and he lights a candle, and he places the letter on it. As he does, it bursts into an arcane illusion of a map of Rumblecusp, and then fades.
We did not do that though.
No, we didn't do that.
Well,
Rumblecusp.
it would seem that would be our next point of exploration. I feel like we don't know enough. How do you all feel about this?
Yeah.
I mean, we can assume at this point the guilds have been dissolved, yes? If that was the first part of his plan. And he concluded that with your commission, Omni, correct?
Yeah.
So we know that was done. So over the next course of the next few days, every major port, small, medium city or town or village will be unable to commission merchant vessels to take their wares to market. And we could assume that's going to begin the conversation of what to do next. And I believe part of his plan was, his hope was that this was going to cause the naval fleets to do what we do instead. They would be commissioned to haul goods and services to keep the riffraff and the population from going, well, quite insane with frustration and madness, correct? Now, he'd been sending captains off of the Revels for days prior to what had just recently happened. All of them given orders on what to do, where to go. He must have known that the primary fleet we'd have to be dealing with is the Clovis Concord, correct? Their navy?
Well, it seemed like that was his goal.
But why? I mean, other than my gorgeous and stunning vessel that would have the capacity and the capability of dealing with most of the war galleys within that fleet. Why? I mean, Rumblecusp is a dangerous island filled with tribe-like individuals and nefarious creatures of all sorts. Famous hunting parties go there all the time to hunt down different animals for trophy and purposes of resource. Why would he have us go there? And this note,
Something he left there?
why did he make Keth do that? I'm confused. Why was Keth's responsibility to... And why die? Why create the illusion of a murder?
Yeah, I'm
So
still
that
kind of
the
stuck on the whole
sisters-
cat thing myself.
So that the sisters would report back that they had succeeded and killed him?
Well, there was the one that got away, correct?
Two got away. We only...
Well, the one that got away from the magistrate's office.
Oh, yeah.
There was the one in the
That
office.
she was invisible.
So
then.
one could assume that if his death made its way back to whoever their patrons and control masters are, sure. that gets him out of the radar of whatever their suspicions are. But why the grisly murder of a beheading and an obvious statement to be made?
Gives him an opportunity to come back and look more like a god.
You can kill anyone any way you wish, right? I mean, Medi, you've become quite the master at this, have you not?
I don't know if it's so much become like recently, but
Can I ask you a question? Well, I even suppose even Jin would be able to answer this, I think, because I'm not entirely sure if Jin's alive or... Which Jin is this today, by the way? Is this happy Jin or angry Jin? Just-
the sun's out, so
So happy Jin. Or at least playful Jin. You can make that assumption. Jin, Medi, what happens to you if I cut off your head?
probably I would die, I'd imagine. I haven't experienced such a
Can
thing.
you die that way?
Think so?
But you're not... Neither one of you are quite normal, correct? I mean... I don't know if normal is a fair word.
What? So
neither
it's
one of you are
just
typical.
Stick at point.
Typical.
Like, look, I'm be the first one to tell you, cutting off my head will kill me. I know this for a fact, because I'm human. I'm limited.
Are you sure? Do you want to try that out?
No, I'm
Yeah, you
certain.
never know until you try.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Who?
You open this door.
A sweet Stormlord. Well,
Hallowed
but
be his name.
why
He's gonna take offense for
taking of the
his
head?
Lord's name in vain.
Is that in
Okay.
itself a message we should take into consideration?
Well, I'm sure it is.
I mean, she just slit his throat, though.
True,
Gatharn that,
Gatharn
like,
took
fully
the
took it
rest
off,
of it
yeah.
off, but it... So, preserving the head means that if someone had the ability to speak with dead, they could possibly
Oh, sure,
speak
yeah.
with Thorvald and
yeah.
figure out
Oh, whose head is in a jar?
Thorvald's.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
This
sweet
tall fella?
Stormlord.
He plays
Yeah,
Catherine
hi?
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite condiment, but I'm sure it is his ketchup.
What's ketchup?
It's tomato sauce.
It's when you
Oh, I like tomato sauce.
Yeah, it's like paste.
Point of order used to be made from fish guts.
Who said that?
There's a little cockroach.
watches a little
the
gnome
corner.
goes running into a corner.
So
I-
back to this. What
Did,
are you-
did anybody else see?
No. So, is it possible that we should speak with his dead spirit, perhaps?
Mama said you should always leave dead things be.
Under normal
Oh, Mama hadn't
circumstances,
met you, I don't think.
yeah, under normal
Mama-
circumstances, I'd agree, but we have kind of a bit of a quandary here on what to do next.
But we just
Yeah.
bury his head, wrap it in a cloth, and
We're unaware
Send him,
fully of
peaceful-
Kath's abilities. She did
peaceful
heal
going.
Gatharn a little bit. Perhaps she has some speaking with the dead capabilities. We don't know yet.
I'm aware of some of Keth's abilities.
Did you know she could heal?
I knew she was capable of healing, but I wasn't sure if it went beyond that.
What are your intentions?
If she can heal, why is her leg still
Healing and growing a limb back are different things.
But if you grew a limb back, wouldn't you say that you're healed?
No, I think that's more like you've
Wow.
regenerated.
No, I think that you're getting a new heel, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, because the foot and the heel
Healed.
of the foot. Okay,
Oh.
gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I
that
had
was
your back on that one, Jen.
it
really
was a
good,
little bit of a
Jen.
stretch, but we got there. No, we made it. We made it. It took us a little while to get there,
Fair,
but we got
fair.
it. We got it.
No, Medic got it good pretty quick though, so it was just only you.
What are my
That's what I said.
intentions, Captain Omni?
Yeah, what do you plan to do?
Oh,
Do
I
you-
plan to go to Rumblecusp in
So
3 or
follow
4
the
days.
breadcrumbs that Thorvald
I
left.
have no other alternative. I'm not really sure what to do next. I'm not exactly loyal to
What if you could do whatever you wanted?
a fault, but I have to take into consideration that Thorvald's greater plan has value.
The greater plan that you don't know.
Yes. I can't believe he would leave the world in chaos. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a big world. How much of it is still unexplored?
The Taldori fleet, the Marquisian fleets. I mean,
Those are just
there's
naval.
thousands of ships that come and go within the Menagerie Coast itself.
Okay.
He was in control of the majority of that process.
Uh-huh.
Now he's dead, dissolved all the houses, and has left all that in chaos for a reason.
Yeah, wasn't that the idea? Chaos?
Yes,
way.
but I need to know the other side of the equation. What's on the other side of the piece that he just moved?
The payoff.
He seemed very insistent on Darktow as well. He had quite a few maps on the reefs and coral reefs of surrounding Darktow. He seemed to have mapped out at least 12 safe access points towards Darktow. Currently, it's just a small little city that makes repairs on all the Clovis Concord Fleet's ships. But clearly he had that in mind as part of his plan. I just wonder what.
I feel like taking breadcrumbs and just following the little bits and pieces that he leaves behind is just following and continuing on as his plan.
That doesn't sound like him. He was a pretty sharp individual. I mean, I think the only mistake he made is he suspected a lot of you were spies. I mean, you did come in on Captain Raylene's ship relatively unannounced and unexpected.
So was the storm that crashed our ship. Unannounced and unexpected.
Was it?
We didn't see it.
What in the hell was he doing out there during hurricane season? I don't understand that part of it. Never got a clear answer from anybody or anyone as to why Trinity was there. Captain Trinity would never do anything like that. He was a seasoned veteran captain. But
Has anybody considered the fact that maybe it wasn't Trinity? Just a thought. With the amount of people
Oh,
that
did
we've
I
seen
think about that
impersonating
once?
people.
How long were
Just-
we sailing with them before we crashed and hurricaned?
about 6 months.
Insight for that?
Just a thought.
Yeah. I mean, if you were there, you could, Gathar.
It's okay because I'm
18.
18?
How about me? Can
yeah,
I do
you
it?
can,
Because
yeah,
that's
if you
the
want to
precedent.
insight that piece of conversation that just kind of unfurled, especially knowing what you know now about Thorvald. It does kind of even Max is like, huh. That's a very good point, Nettie. What if now, big what if. What if Thorvald and Max aren't, or excuse me. What if Thorvald and Trinity aren't real people?
I mean,
Okay.
probably. 19 for me.
19?
They're not real people. They're cow people.
Wow.
Anyways.
I
What I
almost wanna
meant
make him
is-
walk back to the ship right now.
I kind of feel like this whole thing has been built purposefully. A brother's mysterious death under the guise of a contract with the Zehefe, creating this animosity upon which Thorvald responds to by dissolving the guild houses and creating chaos and plunging the Menagerie Coast into civil war. You couldn't write stories like this, could you? Well, you could, but they would be stories to a certain degree.
Yeah, Yeah, but the only thing that really helps there is if you come back after the chaos with the answer, with the solution to the problem that you caused. That way you come back as the hero and you then have the power.
I was going to say, it does kind of sound exactly like a story that some bard somewhere would sing. Does it not?
Yeah.
One tends to wonder then who is pushing and pulling the strings then. Is that the best way to solve this mystery? Go after that. Clearly, Thorvald wants us to go to Rumblecusp as a potential choice to whatever his next step was. But there are other places we could go to try to suss out things that make a little bit more sense than what we know in front of us.
Well, as far as we know, Thorvald and Trinity are two no longer present factors in the equation. The opposing forces previously were the ones that had hired the sisters to spy, which we do know that they are still present factors.
Well, up until that note, I was assuming that one of the sisters had sliced old Thorvald's throat. Clearly it wasn't. It was Keth. Under Thorvald's...
That was actually one of the things that Medi spotted immediately.
Under
was that it was,
Thorvald's guise
jagged.
and instruction as well.
Still feel like this additional lich power has a lot more to do with it.
Excuse me?
The lich that was on the Revels.
On the
Max
boat?
looks from Jin to Omni to Medi.
Oh, you didn't know about the lich?
I was not aware that that was something that was in play, no.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the lichen on the sides of the ship. I just wanted to see Shannon's face.
She literally just... the internalized
Bruh.
groan was heard all the way to the fourth dimension.
Oh yes, Medi discovered the lich day 2 of the Revels. Down in the underbelly, under the surface of the Revels, there was... well, we came across them in the blacksmith shop originally, not the lich, but a familiar, I guess they would call him, of the lich that was cleaning up the crime scene.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes, and then they went downstairs, below the surface, and met up with the image of the lich overlord.
Medi, somebody that you're familiar with.
That's a big assumption.
Well, you were the one that followed them, were you not?
I could have just been following them for curiosity's sake.
Sure.
They were also disguised as a child. They had transformed from a hooded, cloaked figure in the shop, and then when they were fleeing, transformed into the look of a child and ran.
Fascinating.
Lots of creatures with power.
Well, I feel like we need to know more. If we could find something out in addition to what we know, what would it be? Thorvald's intent? Gathan's fascination with pickling heads? How much do you know about Gathan?
Decent amount. I mean, he's kind of got a kink necklace. So the head thing wasn't that...
And you're
Crazy.
aware that he's Fey touched.
Yeah, I mean, he has, wild Fey magic around him.
Just saying.
Go on, there was implication there.
Well, I'm not saying that the Fae are automatically distrustful, but they tend to be a little playful with a passion towards chaos.
Gatharn is definitely playful with a passion.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you trust him though, yeah? All of you, the three of you trust him.
Oh, sure.
No.
No? Jin, you
Why
don't
would that
trust
be,
Cathar?
Jin? What's your concern then?
Who?
Cathar?
Oh, Cathar?
Yes.
Oh, I trust him with my life.
Oh, then who did you think we said?
It doesn't matter anymore?
No, it actually most certainly matters. I'd like to know who you don't trust.
I think you meant Maximus.
No, you see him just like eye Medi the look away. It's just like and he just
That
stares at
meme
it.
with the
Yeah. And he's like, oh no, nobody. I just it was, yeah, no, yeah.
I understand completely. Not really, but I'll try. Well, I plan on going into Earl Bay and doing some looking around. Talk to the other two captains, see what they were either known or told. I'm not entirely sure why the Opaque Eye is here. They were supposed to travel to Rumblecusp during the second day of the Revels. I'm slightly surprised to see that they're here.
We should go pay all of them a visit.
Well, Captain Sheen is a good sort on the Opaque Eye. I'm imagining we could get caught up with him. And then
Did you say Captain Sheen?
Sheen.
Captain Sheen? Tabaxi.
There's a Sheen in the eye. Okay.
It's pronounced Chinee. Captain Sheen.
Sheen.
And then, of course, on the Blue Thorn is Captain Linda Andros. Reliable. Strange. But reliable.
Sheen's on the what now?
On the Opaque Eye.
There's a lot of eye ships around here.
Yeah, well, it's,
Who was the second?
You mean
captain?
it's at least a pair?
The second one was the Blue Thorn, Captain Linda Andros.
I always forget how funny you are, Medi.
That was a 19, by the way, on intimidation for him continually side-eyeing me.
But what the fuck do I roll? I don't feel intimidated.
I think you just roll on the floor because you dropped something.
Let's see.
He just dropped the only 42 cents he had.
I got a 10 on the die. I guess I'm scared. Yeah, man.
You get the feeling that Maddie's definitely angered beyond belief and would like to rip out your throat. If only you didn't taste like death. No? That's not what you... No?
I was just going for, like, stop eyeballing me,
No,
not
no,
like
I
I
got
want
that.
to eat you.
Well, you already know gin tastes horrible, so it definitely wouldn't be in the cards. Well, you and your friends are free to stay here as long as you choose. Have access to my cabin. The main deck of the ship. I would only ask that you avoid going down below, as there's many complex and unique things down below that require, well, let's just say, no touchy. Anyways, going to go now. Are the three of you okay with this? Okay. He gets up and leaves the door open, goes out, and kind of yells out a command, and you can hear a small group of people, and a tandem gets lowered, and it's much larger than the dinghies you guys have for the schooner. It can hold maybe 8 individuals. He climbs into it with
Nice.
7 others, and the tandem lowers down into the water. The 3 of you are left alone for a moment in the captain's quarters.
Should we just try and steal the ship now?
With that, Cathard back over to the ship, back over on the Storm's Eye. The three of them had gone for a bit. Anything you want to do while they're gone?
Talk to Kath.
Who's all awake? Who's all awake?
Everybody's awake now. The night shift won't be going off the crew roster for another couple hours before. And those will be Brackish and the ones that were up early this morning. They'll be on the short roster soon for the early part of the watch before the late watch takes over.
Who's on watch?
It's probably going to be Labash, Gromit, Wendy, and...
No, who's actively...
actively on watch right now is currently Clark, because he's already returned with the dinghy after taking them over there. We'll say Brackish is on watch as well as Stitch. And he's on watch because he's hanging from one of the greater masts, the center mast, working on repairing one of the sails that's now kind of bundled and kept up. Keth is busy working on some maps near the helm's deck.
Oi, pegs!
Really wish you'd stop calling me. I only have a peg, so technically my name would be Peg, but...
All right,
Gathon.
peg it is.
Yes, Gathon, what can I do for you?
Let's see your skill.
My skill?
I wield my hammer.
She kind of steps away from you for a moment. I'm not comfortable with this.
All right, then I grab a peg.
And you reach over
Like
and
a
grab a
bailing
peg.
friggin' pig. Peg.
Mm.
Yeah, bailing
Yeah, like one of the Bailey pins off the side there, and
Yep.
she
pig.
grabs it.
Toss her one.
She catches it with surprisingly good reflexes. Is this like a test?
I attack.
Give me a d20. Add your unarmed attack modifier.
Oh, I'm attacking with the pen.
I understand. Use your unarmed attack modifier.
I miss.
She
That's a
kind of like...
2 on the die.
Yeah, she kind of like uses her elbow to deflect your forearm. And as you're going by her, she just really quickly brings the peg up into your chin. Be a natural 20. Doing 8 points of bludgeoning damage, like up into your chin, and she spins behind you, using her peg as leverage. And she's holding the pin in front of her, and you watch as she kind of like sets herself into a stance.
All right, this time going for real, attacking twice.
Okay, go for it.
Natural 20
Nice.
and 17 plus. You said unarmed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's plus 8. So 25.
Yeah. So with the natural 20, you watch as she throws the peg against the side of the ship, and it bounces up back into her hand, kind of causing that natural 20 not to be natural as a distraction. But both your attacks strike. Go ahead. And what would your unarmed damage be?
It's a D4 plus 4.
Okay, go for it. Because you have Tavern Brawler, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Basically, I can use anything as a weapon. That is 6 and 7.
She uses an open palm to avoid the damage from the first one, and then she takes the brunt of the damage of the second one, and then brings her open hands across your ears as a reaction.
Is she a monk?
At the last minute, you duck underneath. Her hands come together like that, and there's a slight kind of like concussion of arcane energy that kind of bubbles out, and then she pivots around. The two of you are now facing each other again.
All right, insight.
Go for it.
She's like 3 classes in one. Hands of Mercy, Cleric.
That's 19.
19. What's your thought?
I'm just trying to figure out what kind of fighter she is.
She's uncannily fast for someone that's on one leg versus the peg. which is odd. This is someone who's moving and responding as if she's been like this her whole life. This is not someone that's ever been a captain. Whatever story she told you was a concoction. This is somebody who is fast, reflexive, studied, patient. This is... You get the feeling this is someone beyond what you think she is.
Attack again.
Okay?
That is a 17 and 22.
The 17 will miss as she shimmies off to the side. She uses her reaction to try to trip you. Give me a dex save before your other strike hits her.
That will be a 22.
You only manage to get part of the pin on her, but then you recover and snap it into the back of her shoulder blades as she nearly trips you. You make your way over. Go ahead and roll for damage on the second one. By now, the crew is watching.
8.
8. She seems a little frustrated, and she turns on you and rushes into you quickly, and she makes 4 attacks on you.
Damn.
That is a 26, 27, a 14, and a 21.
3 hits.
3 hit. I need a con save on the first one.
Stunning strike.
24.
24. You feel your whole body go rigid for a moment, and then your nervous system relax. Kind of like relaxes from the strike. It was like a finger strike right to the base of your, like in the side of your neck. Take a total of 31 points of bludgeoning damage from all 3. And then she looks at you and she goes, "No, stop this." And
Sure
she's
thing,
standing there with the pen, staring at you.
Captain.
She just gets this look on her face. She throws the pin down, turns around, storms down, and disappears into the hold. And then you just hear Brackish's voice.
Well, that went well. Jesus, she was a fucking blur.
You've got
see
the
that?
deck. I go after.
Okay. Back to the 3 of you on the other ship. What
Pin
would you
in
guys like
hand.
to do?
No.
What are Gatharn's doing right now?
Are
I
they
bet
positive
you that he's
then?
fighting somebody. He's either fighting somebody or he's making love to somebody.
Yeah, those are his 2
Guaranteed.
settings, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gatharn doesn't make love. He fucks.
Hard.
Fornicate feast.
Preferably in that order.
Any order.
That's
Either
Get
way,
peace,
you're,
fornicate,
either way, you're eating twice.
Yep. Gonna dine at the Y. Surf and turf, baby.
Oh God.
That's what
Oh
we call an orgy.
no. Absolutely not.
so. Should we go to
So
the
can I
other
get a plate or?
ships? Buffet style. Should we go to the other ships then?
Ches already knows what I want on my plate.
Turf.
Lemons and limes. Lemons and limes.
Take your shirt off.
Medi, there's a voice in your head.
Good.
Medi, are you there? It's Wendy. You may reply to this message.
What? Why? What's going on?
Well, we seem to have a bit of problem in town.
Go on.
Well, if you and yours could make your way to Earl Bay and see what we've run into, that would be most appreciative. I'm not exactly geared for this particular.
You want to tell me what's going on so that I can be geared for this particular?
No response. You can feel that she might be out of spell slots.
All right. Yes, don't know what to do with that. They're probably fine.
Fucking Maddie. They're skilled cohorts. They can manage it themselves.
Wendy seems to have run into a bit of trouble, and she could not specify what it was, even though, spell probably would have allowed her to say some more words or something in one of those messages, but she asked if we could come down and see what they've run into.
We should go. Did you swing by and pick up Catharn?
Almost certainly.
Well, he's most likely either or haha,
Yeah, for sure.
So
Max said that you're welcome to take one of our tandems.
Oh, sweet.
He knows that you are using...
the bicycles?
Yep.
No, he knows you're using little tiny dinghies on your ship, and he felt that this would make you feel better.
I don't like the way you said little tiny.
Well, I can only describe what I see.
Oh.
All of us should be able to fit in the three-person
And then
one,
some.
right? Yeah.
The Warforged captain kind of...
Oh no, I meant in ours.
Yeah,
With Catharn, we should all still fit in our little one.
it'd be tight. It's
Yeah.
designed for 3. You wouldn't be able to haul
I'm
anything
tiny.
back. Yeah, but you're...
Oh, we do need to bring supplies for the tent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take the
It's
tent.
okay. I can walk alongside the 10 the thingy. I have a ring of water walking.
Yeah,
That's
no, if
true.
you could just
Yeah.
stand in the back and push and run,
Yeah.
that would be good. You don't have to...
Fair enough. Jin, as you're water walking along the side of the small dinghy, give me a perception check.
Lemons and limes.
We do need
lemons and
the
limes.
space for...
Captain's out
supplies,
here
though.
trying to commit some crimes.
For wood and stuff for the map.
16.
16? There are
Yeah.
very large sharks, not more than about 10 feet below where you're walking.
Lemons and limes. Lemons and limes.
When the first great
Okay.
white cruises by you, the head to tail takes about 15 seconds to finish its traverse right by you. The fin comes up out of the water and then down again.
Lemons and...
We're gonna need
And
a
then-
bigger boat.
You guys make your way over to the other ship. You chase Keth down below. What do you want to do before you're called by your mates?
Yeah, I figured this was happening simultaneously.
Mhm. Fair enough.
So, Captain, who are you?
Well, my name is Keth. It's a funny thing about being a spy. You keep your real name so you don't fuck things up. I work for the Cobalt Soul. I've been tasked
Who?
with sussing out Thorvald.
Oh, who's the Cobalt Soul?
They're an organization in Nicodranus that, and other major cities, we do our best to gather information, disseminate it, and decide whether or not to react or act, is what we do.
It's Cobalt Soul?
SOL.
Oh, okay, like the sun.
My mission was to decipher and understand what Thorvald was doing, till you and your friends came along and made this a little bit more difficult. You watch as the illusion of the peg leg dissipates as she shakes it off in her normal stance, and she's leaning dangerously tense up against the wall as she's telling you all this. So, now that I've told you this, I suppose I shall disembark here in Earl Bay and...
Why?
Well, I've been lying, and I'm still pretty uncomfortable with the idea that I have a period of memory I can't recall.
Oh, I can
Well,
tell
that-
you about that.
Well, what do you mean you can tell me about that?
I mean, I can tell you about that.
Would you be so nice as to tell me about that?
Sure. You crew?
Yes, I'm crew.
Then you ain't leaving.
Fair enough.
I fill her in. Thorvald put the
Yeah.
whammy on you.
Yeah, you watch as she just kind of, she goes from being tense to just very distracted with her own inner thoughts. She begins to kind of slouch down against the wall and she places her head in her hands. Huh. Nothing like the permanency of murder to keep someone in your debt, is it?
Now the other question I have is, who is posing as Max?
What do you mean?
The Max that is the spy master of Thorvald is not the Max you met with at the bar.
I
So you got bamboozled. Gotcha.
Twice.
Are you saying that that wasn't Max?
No, that was not Max.
What the fuck is going on? So Thorvald's dead. I killed him.
On his orders.
Oh, yes. And she kind of slowly gets up and... I don't suppose that me and you could keep this to ourselves, could we?
As long as no one asks me a direct question about it, you'll be fine.
Let me ask you a direct question. If anyone asks you about me, can we... You watch as the illusion of the peg leg comes back. Could we just kind of let things be?
You loyal to the ship?
I feel that my loyalty to you means I'm loyal to the ship, yes.
As long as that stands, I got your back.
Good to know. Eventually you hear Omni's voice, Gathon! Yelling out for you from up deck.
I need a pep.
Oh, of course. She lays her hand on your chest and get 28 hit points back. I didn't damage you too permanently, did I? I was going easy.
Ow. No, we're good.
Yeah. One of your ribs floats back into place. You just literally feel it stitch and like float underneath muscle and tissue back into place.
I'm
You're
only like 11 hit points from full. Because the 8 plus the 38. Yeah.
You watch as Gatharn appears on deck. Looking down, you can see Jin on the water looking at a large shark that is circling the ship. Medi and Omni are in the dinghy, or in the tandem. It's much bigger than the other one. Looking up at you as you're staring down at them.
What's up?
Going to the docks. Jin, you okay?
Is you cold or what's going on?
Just citrusy.
Just citrusy.
Do you want to go with us?
Yeah,
Maybe,
and Betty, you're just watching this
need some help.
huge 20-foot long great white just kind of
First,
circle.
when you say you're going to the docks, you picking up supplies.
They're more scared of you
Wendy
than you're scared of them.
messaged,
They're more scared of you
Betty
than you are scared of
saying
them.
that they needed some
Not
assistance,
true.
but didn't say as to
It
what.
is true, so don't
So,
stop talking to me.
I
They're
go
more
back
scared of
below,
you than you are of
grab a
them.
backpack full of health
They're in their
potions.
natural environment. They're in
I grab my hammer.
exactly where they
Just
want to
whack
be, and you're just walking on top of them.
No,
Bring cats or
I'm not on top of them. I'm just
No,
lightly
You're
stepping on their
right
homes.
next to them. You are
No, I-
stepping on top of their house, walking
I-
around on the
I-
roof.
I am just
It
moving
would
about.
be a
minding
shame
my
if you
own business.
tripped, wouldn't
Jin,
it?
give me a deck save, please.
Jin, you fishing?
17.
17. At the last minute, this huge mouth is coming up directly underneath your feet, and you leap into the tandem as this huge great white just breaches the water, and you hear this like this rifle shot go off, as you can see Nala with this huge long rifle just put a bullet right through the great white, and it kind of dips down and tails off.
They're
away
not more
from the
scared of
ship.
us. They're not more scared of us. It's a lie. Mama told me a lie.
Uh-huh. Also,
Just a
why?
trail of
I
blood.
jumped into the captain's arms.
Okay. comfortable.
You good?
No.
Gatharn lands in the tandem with his gear.
Maybe next time, don't walk on the water that's full of sharks.
But you told me to.
And then there's a thump of the
could've been in
tandem
the
as
boat.
Clark kind of launches himself into it. Brackish and Nala said I should babysit, so I'm going to babysit.
Cool.
And then he reaches over, grabs the oars, and he starts moving the tandem towards the docks.
They're not more scared of us. They think we're food. We're food.
I'm
I'll
gonna
go on
help
the-
Clark.
You want to know the
Side of
best part about that thought? So that they're right.
You really shouldn't talk about yourself that way. You
Hmm.
should have a little bit more confidence. In
I'm gonna
yourself.
help Clark with the rowing.
Okay. Omni, you are too as well, right? It's another set of oars. You guys kind of get
Clark's
them
on one side. Me and Gatharn are on the other.
Yeah. Clark's like his huge orc muscles are just...
Actually, I think
thanks
it's
for
vice
the-
versa.
Thanks for the help. Every time the oars go up, Gatharn's feet come off the ship and come off the tandem.
I'm just standing there just like, Captain, you can steer if you want, cause
Currently, the
you're
tiller's
not
just
really
kind
of any help
flapping
at the
around.
moment.
Medi, you're the navigator. Do you want to steer?
I'm expressly not the navigator anymore, but I will.
I think you've been demoted again. Watches Medi
Only
gets on
one
the
person has
tiller.
been demoted on this ship.
That's Jin.
Yeah.
Daytime Jin. Eventually, after about 5 minutes or so, you guys make it up along the dockside. You kind of cruise in behind where the opaque guy is and come up the ladder onto the dock. Once you're on the dock, you can see crowds of people milling about. It's definitely unique in the sense that this place looks pretty run down. You don't get that. You don't really get that vibe of a place that's like been kind of well curated and kind of, you know, this is a place that's been surviving in the shadow of the ruins of another old city for a very long time. You can see people milling about, kind of just doing regular work, but it's at the very center of the small cloistered huts and farmsteads near the bottom of where the bay kind of comes away from the harbor section. And you can see there's Wendy in a heated debate with somebody. Meanwhile, on the ground in front of these people that you obviously don't know and the others, there's Crooked Face standing there defensively with his two-handed mace, and there's you can see Gromit standing alongside Wendy, kind of resting a hand on one of his pistols in his belt. The four humans in front of them are kind of like either pleading or having a rough conversation with her. And as the four of you make your way towards this altercation that's going on, Wendy turns to say, "Oh, Captain, well, it would seem that we're not welcome here, and we have been told that our coin is no good, and that we should leave as quickly as possible. At least that's what this fine gentleman has told me." Yeah, I did.
Put a big old smile on. Sir, what could possibly be the problem?
I've dispersed at least 2 superior healing potions to everyone.
Okay. Well, we've decided that we're not taking sides.
That's great.
Oh, between life or death?
No. I've decided not to take sides.
Oh.
And currently you're standing in me town. I've decided that this town's going to be mine.
Oh,
Decided this
Wendy.
town's gonna be yours.
He's
Yeah.
decided to die. Why didn't you put holes in him?
I'm peeing.
You guys watch
What-
as The individual takes a step back and he goes, "All you have to do is just leave."
Oh, where are you going? We're having a conversation. You've obviously disrespected one of our crew members. Wendy, are you okay?
I'm fine. I was just having a conversation here with Captain Sheen.
Oh, is that the captain that is that the one that says that's his town now? Or is that the mayor? I'm lost.
The guys.
That's the one that was unsuspected to show up at.
Are we
Earl
talking
Bay.
to Captain Sheen right now? Sheen is the one who says that this is his town.
That's who Wendy says she's talking to. Yeah, so I
Oh,
was
he's
trying to
just-
find
this was a
out.
market person that they were like
Oh,
negotiating.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
find out the appropriate place to go to purchase the wares that you were discussing, and this fine gentleman here, well, has told us to leave.
Captain, what's the
haven't chosen
punishment
any
for
sides
cowardice? Wait, we haven't? I'm lost. I'm just gonna step back and you guys can handle all the talking.
Thank you.
I don't know why is Jin saying cowardice.
Captain, sometimes you're just so wishy-washy. Like, you want to be a lemon or you want to be a lime? Pick one. You're confusing me all the time.
Maddie, give me a
I go
perception check.
I join Katharn in this peeing.
I marked it. It's mine.
17.
What'd you get?
Can I pee to the one next to it?
17.
17. Okay.
Or is this
You
area
can
all
see at
yours?
least a dozen or so very like leather-clad, simple dressed sailors kind of on your periphery, kind of taking up defensive positions and hands resting on blades and pistols kind of being kind of rested in fingers. And... Well, Captain Sheen, so nice to have finally found you. You know, I heard the most disturbing news while I was down getting a drink at the Barnacle. You know what I heard? That some idiot thought that Thorvald was dead and that you were going to be acquiring this village of your own accord. And you watch as Maximus now kind of enters into the general area. As he passes by Maddie, you hear him whisper, "Keep an eye on the two to the left. I don't like the look of them." You can see two kind of like orc individuals with their hands heavy on pistols.
I'm gonna sidle up to a non-human. You guys catch the fight at the Revels?
Yeah, I was there, Katharn.
Technically, Jen's not human. You realize you're peeing alongside Jen, and you're like, "Hey, you guys," you kind of move over, kind of find, and you find one of the goblins. Goblin kind of looks at you and goes, "Yeah, I know who you are."
Divine sense.
He just kind of looks awkward and just immediately puts his pistol in his belt, kind of walks away. Now, I'm not really sure what started all this nonsense, but Captain Sheen, if you kindly walk with me and talk with me, that'd be greatly appreciated. And you watch as Maximus puts his arm around Captain Sheen's shoulders and begins to, "I don't what?"
Meanwhile,
Oh.
I'm asking that same question.
"Oh, my friend." "Yes, your friend. Come, let's go have a chat." And they kind of walk. And you watch as all the sailors begin to kind of disperse, a little confused, but hands drop away from blades and they kind of go back to either talking to each other or just kind of dissipating into the marketplace.
The orcs. You said there was orcs.
There's at least two that you could see.
Tribal markings?
Give me perception.
Just do a divine sense.
17.
Here on the dock.
Not that you could tell, and they were quite young.
Okay. And
Divine
then-
sense.
Yeah.
Anything in
sense.
particular they're focusing on?
Just if I can sense the location of any celestials, fiends, undead within 60 feet.
Looking around. No? Seems okay.
I am asking all the non-humans when I come across them if they caught the fight at the Revels.
Yeah, we caught it. We know, we recognized you when you walked up.
Gathorn for the last time, yes. I'm
Is
just
that
I'm just
like
shadowing
that new
Gathorn
thing
Yeah.
on IG where it's like, hey,
Like,
did you happen to see who was on the Billboard Top 100 this
Well,
week?
wherever you are.
Jin, let's go find some food.
Are you hungry, little guy? Let's go get you fed. Come on. Let's go.
we're now about mid-afternoon at this point. Everybody give me perception checks as you kind of take in Earl
Wait,
Bay's
I thought they're not servicing us at all.
23.
23,
Oh, 16.
16,
It's so funny that guy was rolling like ass last night.
23.
23, Medi,
10.
10. I mean, as a group, pretty darn good. I'd say the 223s more than make up for Medi's 10. Taking in the initial surroundings, these are open markets, just these stalls that are built out in the open, and all of you can equally see smuggled goods when you see them. These are all manner of items and things, and individuals hawking these wares clearly have no idea where they came from. They are merely kind of selling stuff based on however it came into their possession. And there's no particular signage. There's kind of like dilapidated homes, kind of cloistered in different areas of the space. It very much feels like almost like a refugee kind of vibe or feeling. Just very run down, nothing
to a food
particularly
stall.
fancy. The only thing is a single large stonework building, maybe a couple 100 feet off to your right, with a sign hanging off it, and it just says the Barnacle kind of scrawled across it. The front, no windows, just framed openings where maybe windows once used to be. But looking, there are some stalls filled with a lot of textiles. There's another stall filled with a lot of tools. You immediately watch as Gromit kind of takes advantage of everything settling down, and he's headed over to that stall at this point. Wendy quickly goes, thank you. I think that will do fine. And walks away from all of you to go talk to one of the textile dealers. No signage, no obvious demarcation of what people specialize in.
I'm following my nose.
Okay. The barnacle is both aromatic and the occasional drunk spills out of it.
No, I'm looking for food.
The barnacle is aromatic and the occasional drunk spills out of it.
I'm just saying if there was other food
no.
stalls outside the barnacle.
No, the only smell of food you can hear is coming from the barnacle at this point.
Then I go to the barnacle.
Okay. So you're heading that way. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm following Gathorn.
Omni and Medi, you can see as Gatharn and Jin are heading for the barnacle.
If that's all we really had to do, I mean, where did it look like Max was taking?
You can
Sheen?
see the two of them with the handful of cohorts that he had in tow making their way down towards the dock and towards the opaque eye.
I'm gonna stealthily follow them.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Give the group a look, letting them know. Go.
Fair enough.
Do all the baseball signs.
I
Stealth
think, Gatharn, I think the captain's having an epileptic seizure.
23.
That's what it is. Epileptic seizure. 23.
15 plus 8.
Okay. You kind of follow them down towards the docks. Eventually, you watch as some of those in tow with Maximus has the individual known as Sheen put into the tandem, and you watch as the tandem retreats in the direction of the Hawk. The Hawk or Maximus is left on the dock with a couple others and turns and begins to walk towards the center of town, not really noticing you. You're kind of among some crates and boxes, and just kind of walks back towards the center of town at this point.
I'll stealth up behind him.
Okay. follow him back towards the center of town. Gatharn and Jin, you make your way to the interior of the barnacle. It's pretty ripe. I mean, it smells mostly like salt water and gutted fish and real stale beer and whiskey. There's no real tables here. There's just barrels kind of upturned to be used as standing tables. There's a very kind of like large blue-greenish fellow behind the bar, kind of catering to some of the individuals at the bar. Not very many. I mean, it's mid-afternoon. There's some drunkards passed out on the ground near some of the barrels. There's a smell of some kind of food being cooked here.
I'll have the special, and he'll have the grog.
The special? We don't have any specials.
What food are you serving?
We have fish, and we have bread, and we have cheese.
Well, if you put them all together, wouldn't that be a special?
No, that would be the same thing we eat every day. But
So it's special.
sure, you watch as he loads up a platter and grabs a couple tankards and takes it over to one of the one of the barrels nearby.
What's his
Enjoy.
race? You said he's bluish green, so is he like merfolk? Is he a
Give me a
seal?
history check.
That's our water gymnast.
That would be a 12.
You're not really sure. He's either a water genasi of sorts or possibly a triton. You're not really sure.
Doesn't look anything like, was it Elaine?
No,
Triton we had on Raylene ship.
Looks surprisingly a lot like her.
that's a triton.
To threaten. But yeah, I order grog and
That'll be
food.
12 silver, please.
Jen, I don't have my coin purse on me.
Just like, what? 12 silver, please.
Gatharn was expecting to go into battle, so he did great.
I'm sorry. 12 what?
12 silver for the food and the grog.
Silver.
Picks up the platter and the grog, turns back.
Okay, okay. You drive a hard bargain.
Sets it back down, holds out his hand. Takes the coin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
While the guy's holding out his hand for the coin and Jin is going really slow, Gatharn's just like shoveling food into his face.
Just
Alright.
turns to look at the
12
two of you and kind
silver.
of turns away to head back towards the bar, leaving the two of you alone. Omni, what are you doing? You're just kind of shadowing Maximus at this point. You watch as he's now at a stall that seems to sell mostly melee weapons of sorts. Hammers, axes, swords, daggers. He seems to have a conversation and points to one of the people that he's with, and a purse is exchanged, and then you watch as he walks over to where Gromit is and is waiting patiently for Gromit to finish up.
Yeah, just continue to keep an eye on him.
Okay.
See if he meets up with anybody.
It seems
That
to
I
be
don't
like he's
notice.
spending most of the afternoon now just kind of concluding purchases of supplies at this point. Nothing overtly nefarious. Both Jin and Gatharna headed into the barnacle. Medi's kind of like lingering around. She probably had to go potty.
So the captain of the transparent eye, no, what'd you say it was?
Opaque.
Opaque eye is currently on the hawk.
You saw him get into the tandem that was headed for the Hawk, yeah.
How big is the opaque eye?
3 decks, 2 main masts, definitely a cargo ship of sorts in overall size. What you can recall, it probably had a gunnery deck with 5 cannon on either side. And you would get the feel that that ship is capable of a 30, maybe even a 40-person crew.
When building out one's fleet, it needs to be diversified and have many shapes and sizes of ships for different things. Omni just keeps thinking about all of the different potential friendly acquaintances it would be nice to have. Not necessarily allies, because we as a group aren't really like aligned with the ideas of what everybody's got going on. And if Sheen is got the idea that they could just roll up to any town and be like, nope, this is ours, that just seems like somebody who shouldn't necessarily have a ship anymore. I'll approach Max from the shadows. So,
Oh.
Oh.
Omni. Jesus. Or Stormlord. What? You need to stop doing that.
you don't need to call me Stormlord. You can just call
No,
me
that's a... anyways. It's more of a term of... Anywho.
We know what you meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on with Sheen?
Oh, he's being dealt with. Loyalty is still required. We will be placing a new captain on that ship.
So you own the ship now? Thorvald owns
Technically,
the ship.
Thorvald gifted all the ships back to the captains. I'm stealing this one. Sheen's a bit of an ass.
Here's an interesting thought, because we were thinking about stealing it too, because you're right, he is a bit of an ass. But we need to figure out what direction the ships are going before we start adding more ships to our fleet anyways.
On that point...
Is 30-40 strong there? In his crew?
Well, I mean, they're more loyal to Coin than I think they are to Sheen. They'll be just as loyal to one of our own. But I mean, does that mean that you and yours have made a decision to continue with whatever Thorvald's designs are? Because that's the direction that these 3 ships will be going in.
Oh no, we didn't say that at all. We were just still thinking about stealing the ship and going a different direction. Yeah.
Well, then the ship is not for stealing. That's friendly advice.
Yeah. Friendly advice from a master spy. How's one to take that?
You can take it any way you wish. I have yet to force you to do anything you do not want to do, since we've learned of Thorvald's situation. I plan on continuing, and we'll be taking these ships to Rumblecusp and seeing what is waiting for us there. If Thorvald's message has validity and it has intent, well, one can only assume that the next part of this plan is waiting for us to find it there.
Okay. Just continue walking by.
Okay. He goes
Start
back.
heading back to
Gromit kind of finishes
the
up
beach.
his conversation. Max is now starting a new conversation with that particular stall purveyor. Medi, Omni is currently... You can see that they are currently having a conversation with Max. You watched as Jin and Gatharn made their way into the barnacle. You're standing amongst this space and all the different kind of like individuals selling their wares. It's almost like being at a flea market, with the exception that these stacks of just everything from clearly stolen cutlery all the way up to Admiral's clothing. I mean, this is a place that's just littered with all matter of stolen goods, from what you can tell. Sorted by the different purveyors that are selling their particular style. Anything you want to do while here?
Is there anything that looks particularly interesting?
I'll say you've had some time to kind of peruse. Give me an investigation check.
Magic awareness.
Hmm?
Did you magic awareness? Shit.
25.
25. There's a
All the smuggled things.
there's a human female that's dressed in all black leathers, kind of hawking things that appear to be unique from your perspective because you've kind of seen them before. You recognize canisters of chemicals and powders and similar things that you had bought off somebody else back in the den on the Revels. Glass jars, glass containers, ceramics, and she's currently having a conversation with a sailor. And you can kind of overhear her voice. I can assure you that if you have problems peeing in the future, this will help. Just take this and everything will be fine. Well, yeah, but are you sure this... Yes. 2 gold and all is well. All right. He reaches in, hands her 2 gold. She turns around, drops the gold into an iron box, and then kind of goes back to sorting things, opens up a crate, pulls out a bag of something, sets it down.
Well, that's fascinating. I would approach.
Okay. She looks up. Oh, well. Hello? Is something I can do for you?
I don't know, just looking around, you caught my eye for a second. What
Hmm,
was that?
You are.
Did you say he was having problem peeing? Is that what I heard?
Yes. It would seem that if your ship doesn't have a person of the healing skill, when you make port and you put your dick in anything you think is welcome, and you tend to walk away with problems. But you don't strike me as someone that worries about such things.
Not really. Well,
Or,
it's a snap.
or
judgment
just
that you
not
made in
lately.
positive action.
What?
What?
Show us in unison, like, what's your what?
What? Said if you don't have anybody amongst your crew of the healing sort, is that what you focus on?
Well, I do focus on a bit of those potions that are required. I have some others that I've come in possession of. I also tend to sell to people that practice the art of alchemy.
Go on.
So, and I occasionally help with infusions as well. Are you familiar with the magics of artificer by chance?
A little bit.
Well, if you are of the mind of chemically infusing or needing components to make objects do certain things, or give them animated abilities, I can help with those. I dabble in all manner of potions that can either allow you to heal yourself, move very quietly, turn yourself invisible, or give you the ability to fly. I
like all of those things.
also tend to dabble in explosives as well. I find them to be very lucrative, to say the least.
I dabble in explosives.
I am restraining a joke. I wouldn't make it, but it's there. It is certainly there. Okay, so tell me more about this flying, this moving quietly.
I have potions of fly and potions of invisibility. Both will last about an hour, and both are good for 1 dose.
Interesting. How much?
1,200 gold apiece.
Ah, wonderful. I feel like it's gonna bite me in the butt to not get these, because I'm almost certainly gonna need them later. But as of right now, I can be invisible and Omni can fly, so we're probably fine. And we're almost certainly going to need to go on like a stealth mission later.
If these don't interest you, I have these 3 that have had some difficulty unloading. This one gives you tremendous strength. The person that I took it from, said that it was a potion of bull strength. This one is a potion of scry, 1 dice. And then this potion is a potion of arcane feat.
Interesting.
Most of what I have is either healing potions, water breathing potions, simplistic stuff. But someone of your obviously robust nature does not require the simple things in life.
What does that mean? Obviously robust.
Well, you're quite beautiful.
Oh, okay. What does that have to do with being robust?
I don't know. I'm not very good at flirting. I can only try from time to time.
Oh, is that what that was?
Well, now I'm insecure as well. Thank you. Can I
Have that effect on people.
She's now fidgeting and she's pulling her leathers a little bit tighter and kind of adjusting her belt and kind of just, do any of these interest you by chance?
Bull strength, how much?
2,000 gold.
And scrying?
2,500.
These prices almost make me want to acquire them from you less legally, just as you have initially acquired them. Not gonna lie.
Give me persuasion or intimidation. I'll leave it up to you.
Intimidation. Certainly. I'm gonna use a luck.
I'm not surprised.
Better. 19.
That's what they're
19.
for.
She goes, well, perhaps a drink later and a reduction in cost. I mean, I could definitely reduce the cost if you buy them in bulk. And you'd be more than happy to teach me how to flirt properly, I suppose.
I'll bring in an expert on that. It's not me. I know somebody who knows how to do it much better.
She kind of laughs at that, almost like, and she kind of plays with the curl of her hair when you say that. And she goes, well, I can let you have, if you buy all 3, I can let you have all 3 for 4,000 gold.
That was quite the discount.
Well, you are quite a woman.
That's what they say.
Who's this
I don't know who
they?
they are, but it is what they say.
Wait, she's like, who's this they?
I don't know. Who knows? Are you perhaps able to take gems, maybe?
Certainly.
What
For a
about-
second there, I thought you were trying to trade gin for the potions.
Well,
want an
when
undead
the
cursed
first time one of us
admiral?
offered the other
It's true.
It's like revenge.
Raven.
Hey, Jin, how's it going? You belong to her now. Sorry.
Yeah, I have a diamond that's worth 5,000. If I got the other 1,000 back,
Okay.
off of that.
And she gives you 10 gems, 10 small rubies worth 10 gold apiece.
That's so annoying. Okay.
Coin are heavy. It's cheaper to trade in gems for most people out in
You
these.
mean 100 gold apiece? 'Cause it was
Sorry,
1,000.
no. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. 10 small
100 gold
rubies
gems.
worth 100 gold apiece. That was my bad. Bad math.
And did she say she could do enchantment there?
Conversation didn't happen. That.
No, she was saying like as part of an artificer, she can imbue things. Was she
And do
referring to, like,
infusions
potions then?
and imbuements, but nothing along specific enchantments
like
that she
adding a
stated. Yeah.
particular spell to something.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a potion of.
Bull strength, potion of scry, and a potion of arcane feat.
Got it.
Yeah, what is that? Assuming it's faster.
Boy,
than
it's killing you
arcane
right now not to
hands.
be by her, is it?
I just want to know the
Just tell me
details
what
of
you're
the-
going to tell Medi
I want the
anyways.
card. I want to see the details of the card. What is it? At least it wasn't an arcane appendix.
So, Medi, as you secure those goods, Omni, as you conclude your conversation with Max, Gatharn and Jin inside the barnacle, give me a perception check really quick.
There it is.
17.
17.
8.
8. Jin is busily playing with some fried piece of seafood on his plate, not sure what to do about it. The two of you feel the table nearby kind of shake as two feminine fists kind of knuckle down onto the surface. Almost like purplish skin. Looking up, you can see about a half a dozen heavily cloaked, heavily leathered individuals standing behind this individual that pulls her cloak down. And a familiar looking drow just stares at the two of you. Well, well,
Hi,
what do we have here?
Gatharn and Jin.
And that's where we're going to finish today. So yes, there will be combat next session, as I could not believe I rolled that.
Gatharn's gonna stop going to bars. Every time he goes into one, there's a drow bitch.
Let's just do it. We got 5 minutes. I can finish these bitches
Yeah,
off.
we got. There's only one of them.
That
we
you know of.
see.
That you can see. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming
Captain
out
Shane's
and hanging
probably
out with
one in
us.
disguise.
We are going to be back here live. Jin will find a ride on how to get out here, but we will be back here next Sunday, and then it will be our 2-week break for the holidays, and potentially a new kid on the block, as Sebastian is making it known that
hoping
he
for a
may not
dawn.
wait till January. Yeah, so check out our schedule, check out our links. Come on over to our Discord, hang out, have fun. We will be back here in a little over an hour with an absent throne. Be sure to check out our schedule, and we are still giving away our monthly prizes on our Discord. And yeah, one more week until the 2-week break, and then we start a whole new year in 2022. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. So thanks everybody for coming out. See you in a little over an hour. Bye y'all. Peace.
Right.